House as Hermiston and Kamiakin get closer to tip-off here this evening. The Braves are 10-2, and they are a perfect 8-0, sitting on top of the MCC standings at the midpoint. For Hermiston, it's a 6-7 record right now, 4-4 in the conference. They have won 4 of their past 5. And it puts them in a tie with Walla Walla, the two teams a game back of Kennewick. Those are the top 3 teams. It appears that they will leave Southridge in their dust. Southridge is 3 games back of of Walla Walla and Hermiston in the standings. So top 3 to get into the District 8 tournament, and then it's a matter of can you get into the top 2 and get yourself back into the state playoffs. If you are the Hermiston Bulldogs, get all the way back to the Tacoma Dome where they were a year ago. So it's one step at a time. Tacoma Dome is at the very end of the rainbow. Before they get there, you've got to go back through the Spokane Arena again. To get there, they've got to get to the District 8 playoffs and through the District 8 playoffs here in 2023. Lake Shoemaker's team appears to be on the precipice of that. They've got a 2-game lead in the conference right now over Richland and Chiawana, and they are looking to continue to pad their lead as they move into the second half of the MCC schedule. The 11th year head coach said the difference between his team now and back in December is they had so many new pieces to their puzzle. Nicole Thomas, the Memphis-bound senior, was back along with Maddie Rendall, the sharpshooting senior for Idaho State now, a year from now. But then they add in Leanna Lepe, the defensive specialist who transferred to Kamiakin after playing and starting and being the MCC's Defensive Player of the Year a year ago at Pasco. And they've got a youth infusion coming up behind their older group. So trying to find all those pieces a place. He says one of the things that's happened for them is it's tough for teams to defensively key on one person. It's not Nicole Thomas's show all the time. She is their leading scorer at 15.17 points per game, but Rendall's right behind her, 9th leading scorer in the conference. And then you've got Mia Howard, who's putting the ball in the bucket a lot, just under 10 points per game for the inside post. And Lepe has added an offensive game that has grown even more than her junior year a year ago. She is almost at 10 points per game as well. So those are the Kamiakin Braves and the thoughts from their head coach. It's brought to you by Desert Lanes as Hermiston and Kamiakin get set for tonight's contest here in the Doghouse. Hermiston 6-7, their record 4-4, as we said, in the MCC. Nice little streak they're putting together. Points per game up to over 57 points per game. Points allowed per game is continuing to drop, now down below 64 points per game. That's the big piece for Hermiston, is can their defense continue to get better? We will have thoughts of somebody who is more expert at that than me as we get to tip off here. Joining me tonight on the coverage in place of Sunny Levy will be Hermiston's athletic director, the former boys coach for a decade, Larry Usher. He will join us. There are a couple of pregame components that have to be factored in as well here this evening, including the recognition of a staff member before tip-off tonight. So all of that is ahead of this ball getting thrown up into the air, and Hermiston and Kamiakin getting their second matchup between each other. As I said, December 9th was the first meeting. 85-53 ended up the final tally in that one. That was a night where Ellie Heidemann was the leading scorer, 26 points. She hit 8 3-point shots, which is her season best. And the 8 3-point shots, it looked like maybe she was in line for that on Tuesday night when the Bulldogs won at Southridge 75-45. The team ended up with 15. Ellie had 4 3-pointers made. They were all in the first half on that game Tuesday up in Kennewick at Southridge High School. The win over the Suns. So wins over Southridge and Hanford on the road in the past week. That's good. The loss at Chiawana in between. Chiawana is a very solid team. I think Hermiston wishes that they had competed a little bit more in that one. Ended up losing 77-43, but things have gotten better. And as you heard from Jay Ego, The nice thing about the second half of the season here in Hermiston is 6 of 8 at home to come down the stretch. They have had to play most of the first half of the season on the road, and now as they get into half number 2 of the MCC schedule, they finally get to enjoy some home cooking and fewer bus rides around the Tri-Cities in the Mid-Columbia Conference. That being said, Tuesday, we go into Walla Walla, the longest trip of the season. Before we get to the Tuesday game, we've got Kamiakin here tonight, Kennewick in the doghouse tomorrow afternoon, as it is a big weekend against a couple of the Kennewick schools in the Mid-Columbia Conference. It's your Swipe Motors Tailgate Show. We will come back with the starting lineups and a tip-off as we continue here tonight. It's AM 1360 KOHU Hermiston. Few wires crossed, and end up with the band listening as well as we play the national anthem here this evening. Before we get to the starting lineups, Ellie Heidemann has selected Angie Cook, the Highland Hills Elementary School teacher. So they'll go out to mid-court here this evening and have a nice little moment before starters are introduced. The Bulldogs starting this program as well to recognize the important educators that have touched the lives of the players here for the Bulldogs before the start of games. A couple other schools in the MCC doing this as well. Stands out, at least for me, is Kennewick was the place I remember seeing it first and foremost. So a nice opportunity there for the staff member from Highland Hills to be recognized here this evening. It is Bulldog Basketball at AM 1360 KOHU. We welcome you as well online at gohermiston.com and mixler.com/1360 KOHU. The web stream is powered by Eastern Oregon Telecom. That's internet at the speed of life. We also tip our cap to our friends taking the audio on Hermiston School District's YouTube channel, HTV Hermiston, here this evening with the video to go along with the sounds of myself, Eric Olson, alongside Athletic Director Larry Usher here in the CMG Financial broadcast booth, and take a look at the starting lineups here for the league-leading Braves. And Lane Shoemaker's team, he actually had a game-time decision, ends up going with the 5'10" junior post, Mia Howard. It was between Howard and the sophomore, stands 6 feet tall, Aubrey Heron. The other four are pretty consistent. 5'9" junior guard Nicole Wertenberger, the defensive player of the year a year ago, 5'4" senior guard Leanna Lepe, and then the two that are already inked to play past the high school level. Idaho State-bound 5'11 senior guard Maddie Rendall, and the Memphis-bound 5'10 senior guard Nicole Thomas. For 11th year head coach Lane Shoemaker, who's assisted by Amy Whitemarsh, Nick Thomas, Ryan Carter. In the Kennewick School District, the superintendent is Dr. Tracy Pierce. The principal at Kamiakin is Chris Chellin. Athletic director is Kyle Cowan. He is assisted by the trainer, Sierra Ashworth. And out for the Bulldogs, their starting lineup brought to you by Rogers Toyota. It is the same five for Jay Ego, 5'7 sophomore guard Izzy Simmons, the 5'7 sophomore point guard Ellie Heidemann, 5'4 senior guard Dree Coleman, the 5'10 sophomore forward Abby Edwards, and the 5'7 sophomore guard Cameron Hagel. For second year head coach Jay Ego is assisted by Amanda Rodriguez. Soraya Montez is the freshman coach. JV coach is Ron Civi, and volunteer assistant Hannah Thompson. Strength and conditioning coach at Hermiston is Emily Strope. The principal here at Hermiston High School is Tom Spoo. The superintendent, Dr. Tricia Mooney. The athletic director with me here tonight is Larry Escher. He is assisted by Vicky Paola, and the trainer for 22 years, Dan Emery. Bulldogs are 6-7 and 4-4, averaging 57.1 points per game, giving up 63.8 points per game. The Kamiakin Braves coming in with a 10-2 record, 8-0 in the MCC, averaging 73.8 points per game, 48.4 points per game given up. So, the old ball coach is with me now. Larry, I asked the coaches this, but you got to see it when they played December night. What's different about this Hermiston team than they were in what was game 4 of the season?
Well, right now, you know, it's real difficult sometimes when you got a lot of young girls. You really do. And a lot of people look at our girls' team and think, you know, we got Izzy and Ellie back. We got a core of the team back. But the reality is we lost a lot last year. We did. And, you know, losing Caitlin, losing Bailey Jo Young, and a couple other seniors as well, we did lose a lot last year. So getting these girls to play well together, to gel together, to be able to share the ball together is a difficult thing to do, especially at the pace that we want to play. And believe it or not, although sometimes we struggle defensively and we struggle on the defensive glass a little bit, being able to get these girls to defend the way that Jay wants those girls to defend is not easy to do right now.
What did you like Tuesday in the win at Southridge?
I think the biggest piece for me was transition. We did a great job taking care of the basketball and offensive transition. Defensive transition was better. Jay and I were looking at stats earlier this week and found out that their last meeting with Kamiakin, I believe they scored 79 points of their 83, I believe it was, in either transition or off of turnovers. And that was a big piece. And our girls did a really good job of taking care of the ball in offensive transition last time. We've kind of shot ourselves in the foot a few times this year by turning the ball over right after we get a big board or a turnover.
Bulldogs attacking left to right in the home white uniforms. Kamiakin an all-black uniform with red numerals and lettering. And the tip is won. Nicole Thomas into the Hermiston bench and travels there, defended well by Dree Coleman. Coleman, the defensive specialist for Hermiston. They've got one of those on the other side, Kamiakin's Leanna Lepe, and it looks like right now she will start off checking Izzy Simmons. As Cameron Hagel starts with the point. This is what they did against Chiawana a couple of games ago. Hagel coming to her right, drives and bounces. Coleman right block, works into the paint, into traffic, misses a shot. Edwards rebound, back out onto the perimeter. Thomas round to Ellie Heidemann. Heidemann drives into the lane, kicks onto the right baseline. Coleman on that right side, normally out on the left, but they've shifted things around with Hagel at that point position to start. And a foul on the arm of Dree Coleman. She attacks right into Nicole Thomas, and the Memphis-bound senior makes the first foul to send Dree to the line for 2 shots.
Yeah, hopefully that's a good sign of great things to come for us, Eric, tonight, because our girls were patient. We moved the ball very, very well during that possession and didn't turn the ball over, didn't make poor decisions with it.
This has not been the happiest place in the world for this Bulldog team, 56.1% from the foul line. A change, not quite a minute in. Edwards will come out, and Alexis Ackerman, the 5'8 junior, in. Coleman goes 1 of 2, missing the second short. And for Kamiakin, it's whipped up court. Thomas catches, Stree drives down the left lane and attacks over the top of Ackerman for the bucket to put Kamiakin in front 2-1, just about a minute in. Hagel out to the right side for Heidemann. She's checked by Rendall. Man-to-man defense right now. Right corner, catch by Heidemann. She'll go against Rendall. Kick onto the left wing. Hagel there. She and Simmons were in the same spot. Izzy has on the left wing. Around a pick. Drives down right lane. High off the glass and gets it to fall over the top of Mia Howard. Simmons' first bucket of the game. Had 24 on Tuesday night. Leading scorer of the MCC at over 17.6 a game. Right side, Rendall misses a jumper from 12 feet away on her first shot of the game. 6:28, 3-2 Hermiston. Simmons, left side to a cutting Heidemann. Into traffic, gets bopped to the floor. On the floor, it's picked up and taken away from Hagel, saves it back in, but behind her is Thomas, who leads a 2-on-2. Nicole Thomas, foul line jumper, floats it in with the left hand. If Izzy's the number 1 scorer, Nicole comes in the number 7 scorer. Ball knocked out of bounds into the Kamiakin bench. Hermiston keeps it. Thomas, just over 15 points per game, is the 7th leading scorer in the conference.
I think one of the biggest factors for us tonight, Eric, could be Cameron Hagel and how well she shoots the basketball, and not just tonight, but the rest of the way through.
Hagel will drive and kick to the left block, and Ackerman finishes. Hagel slipped it between 2 defenders to Ackerman for her first points, and the Bulldogs back in front by 1. Lob it inside over Lepe and out of bounds. Thomas forced it in. Thomas and Rendall discussing demonstratively where everybody's supposed to be. Both teams do seem a little bit out of sorts on the offensive side. Left side for Simmons in the corner. She'll circle into the paint, dump it underneath. Ackerman on the block. Blocked down to the wall by Howard. The junior post came over and swatted away the Ackerman attempt. Hermiston by 1, 5:33 on the clock in quarter number 1. Simmons, the inbounder, at the basket to her left as she looks up, lobs it into the paint. Past Heidemann, a steal. Wertenberger has it come the other direction. Full head of steam, all by herself, right side layup to put Kamiakin back in front by 1. Those transition buckets off turnover you're talking about hurt Hermiston so much in December at Kamiakin.
Yeah, they did. It's you kind of pick your poison for our girls. You want to play at a fast pace, but you got to take care of the ball.
There's another one. Steal, a miss though by Lepe, and Simmons has it. Izzy pushing up court to Cameron in the right corner. Hagel's jumper, glass good. Knocked it down. Hermiston 7-6. 3 minutes gone. Lob it up court. Kamiakin tipped out of bounds. They'll keep the ball. This Braves team has seemed to make it a point they want to play faster this year.
They do, and if they continue to take those chances throwing the ball at the floor the way they are, I think that's going to bode well for us.
Howard tied up, foul called. Ellie Heidemann called for the harm, her first. They'll send Mia Howard to the foul line for 2 shots.
Of course, our toughest spot, I think it's been all year for us so far, Eric, is defensive rebounding. We get teams in a scramble offensively, and we're in a scramble defensively, and we're trying to force turnovers and force tempo, and sometimes you're not in a great position to box out. But, I think if I'm coaching this team, you got to pick your poison, which is exactly what Coach Ego does. You certainly don't want to slow it down with our lack of size and allow teams to set up in the half court on us.
4:45 left in the first quarter, 8-7 as both foul shots go for Howard. Ball out of bounds, touched last by Kamiakin. Lepe got a fingertip on it, so Hermiston has a baseline inbound. Trailing by 1, Izzy Simmons will lob it into Ackerman and take a handoff right back in the right corner. Simmons steps to her left, gets a 3 up, front iron off. Lepe throws it up court to Wertenberger. Wertenberger straight on. Picked from behind by Heidemann, but it falls to Howard. Howard leaves it for Thomas, who lays it in. She's got 6. Up court to Coleman. Coleman will attack Lepe. Now kick it back out. Wide open 3 for Heidemann. Nothing but the bottom of the net. Bulldogs tied at 10 on the Heidemann triple. First 3-pointer made either way, and the ball's thrown out of bounds by the Braves. 4:08 left in the first quarter and a change. Edwards will come back into the game for Alexis Ackerman.
We got to keep this pace up, and hopefully we can count. I believe we can count on the Braves to continue to make these mistakes that they're making as long as we continue to play at a fast pace. Lob
inside by Heidemann. Nice find. Simmons can't finish at the 10. Edwards gets a rebound and kicks it back out. Coleman left corner, 3 over Thomas and hits it. Dre Coleman got Hermiston in front 13-10 with that triple, and the Bulldogs press in the full court. Broken. Lepe bounces. Howard right block. Blasting off into the hands of Lexa Moreno came in. The freshman hands off. Simmons throws it away. Thomas with the interception. Thomas, full head of steam, steps past Moreno. Righty scoop shot off. Rebound put back for Wurtenberger. That misses as well. Thomas pulls it down and is tied up underneath. Foul called on Moreno.
Again, we get them to play at the pace we want, and they take a shot that we like in transition, and we got to do a better job of fighting for defensive rebounds. Those kind of boards right there where Moreno can get a hand on them, those are the ones we have to come down with if we're going to be competitive against a team like Kamiakin.
Cameron Hagel comes back in. Dree Coleman gets a break. Aubrey Heron and Imani Smith for Kamiakin. Bulldogs force a turnover. Moreno has it from Simmons into the right wing. Slows up, gives to Simmons, who wheels past her. Heidemann at the top of the key, coming right. Heidemann's going to drive an attack. High arcing scoop shot floats in off the glass. Ellie's got 5. Hermiston's got a 5-point lead. Other end of the floor, Rendall wide open, fouled on the turnaround at the left block. And she's going to the line for a pair of foul shots. So that idea, you're going to give up some rebounds. Not asking for the team to win the rebounding battle. Kind of the same conversation Sunday had Tuesday about the boys at Southridge. You don't have to win the rebounding game. You just can't get blown out at it.
Exactly. You know, our girls can win the rebounding game. In order to do that, you're going to have to match up, play half-court man-to-man, probably play a little pack line and just keep the ball in front of you. But with our lack of size, our opponent's shooting percentage and their field goal percentage and their percentage of points off of possessions is going to skyrocket because we're going to have a hard time stopping them defensively without speeding the game up like we are.
I'm not even really sure how I would describe all the interaction that just happened there, but Maddie Rendall committed a foul and Hermiston's got the ball, leading 15-11. There was a point where it looked like Thomas was standing out of bounds, or maybe it was Rendall was standing out of bounds. There's a Thomas foul. As Nicole Thomas, a little bit off balance, committed harm, her second. And so she comes out for Liv Whitemarsh Bass, the 5'11 sophomore. Inbound goes into Edwards. Edwards' pass is stolen by Heron, the sophomore. Lobs it to Wurtenberger. Wurtenberger stuck in the backcourt. Cross to the right side for Heron. Whip it up to Rendall. Down inside for Smith. Turn around and a miss, and then the ball's thrown over the backboard on the putback by Imani Smith. She's a 6'1 freshman.
Braves got a break there in transition with missed over and back call. Should have had it, but we got it back anyhow.
2:15 left in the first quarter. Hermiston's 15-11. Moreno, the freshman, hands off to Simmons. Three-pointer, contested, banks it in. Puts her hand to her mouth. Australian Open, you get something like that, you raise your hand to your opponent and apologize. Simmons will take the bucket. She's got 5. 18-11 other end. Answer back 3. Hit by the freshman Smith. Have you heard from Amazon when our order of 6'1 freshmen come in?
Have not heard yet.
Right elbow jumper knocked down by
nice.
Simmons.
You know, the unfortunate part, but still fortunate as well, is we got a lot of really good little young guards still coming into the program, Eric.
Ball knocked out of bounds. It was tipped last by Edwards. And so Kamiakin will have a baseline inbound, trailing 20-13 with 1:27 left in the first quarter. Baseline inbound for Whitemarsh Bass. The sophomore gets it in. They get it up top to Heron. Left corner, Whitemarsh Bass is there. Three-pointer off the backboard into the hands of Edwards. Lobs near side for Simmons. Touch pass up court to Moreno. Moreno slowed up and works into the right corner. Gives back to Simmons. Izzy coming to her left. Top of the key, crosses over against Lepe and leaves it for Heidemann. Heidemann had 26 in the first meeting between these two teams to lead all scores. Hands off to Hagel. Hagel, step back, blocked away by Heron. Heron at a full head of steam loses the handle out of bounds at midcourt. Right at the scores table. Just under a minute left in the first quarter. And 20-13, the Hermiston lead.
Yeah, we're going to need Ellie to step up tonight. That Izzy's got a tough matchup. And Izzy struggled twice a little bit last year against Pasco, same matchup. She transferred from Pasco, and so she does a really good job of keeping the ball in front of her. We're going to need to find some opportunities in transition to get Izzy going, or knock down some bank threes. That'll help as well. But you leave her open, it's almost like a layup right about now. She's shooting the ball very, very well.
Have you done package tracking with U.S. Postal Service to see when our transfer MCC Player of the Year is coming in?
I have not. Yeah, we don't get those. And, and the unfortunate thing is, which is probably a longer explanation than we have right now, but of course all of our officials just group together to talk about the shot clock. So maybe we do have time, is that the way that the OSAA in Oregon works compared to the WIAA doesn't allow us to have any kids that can actually transfer into Hermiston High School, but they can certainly all transfer out to all the neighboring small schools.
56.6 seconds left in the first quarter. They've got the shot clock down to 10, and Hermiston with a 7-point lead operates. Ellie bounces to Edwards, 4 on the shot clock. Out to Simmons, long distance three, tips off the front iron and falls into the hands of Whitemarsh Bass, who throws it away out of bounds on the far sideline. All right, Maddie Rindall has been very quiet, and the Braves are hurt by having Nicole Thomas on the bench with 2 fouls. 38 seconds left. Bulldogs did get a new shot clock out of that. Moreno gives to Simmons, working right side. Her pass tipped and stolen by Lepe, and then Simmons got away with a bump, gets it up court to Heron. Heron left side, threw it over everything. Offensive rebound, put back for Smith. Bulldogs lead is 20-15. 17 seconds left, quarter number 1. Hand off to Simmons. She'll drive, got past Lepe, got hit on the arm. Late whistle, but a whistle will send Simmons to the line for a pair of foul shots.
I like how aggressive she is. When she's going to get defended the way she is and someone's going to try to defend her on the perimeter and keep the ball in front, I think every once in a while you do got to put your head down and try to get to the free throw line, Eric.
Simmons good on the first of her 2 foul shots. And that is a number that stands out. That was the 41st foul shot of the season. We're in game 14. That number should be higher. 8 and 9 points now as Simmons goes 2 for 2. And that's the other reason. She's a good shooter from the foul line. She's 87.5%. Miss, rebound, put back, and Smith just out-jumped Hermiston, and the freshman was able to get that last-second bucket, make it 22-17 as the teams huddle up before the second quarter, which is coming your way after this on AM 1360 KOHU. Bulldogs start the second quarter with the ball, and a foul by Mia Howard defending Cameron Hagel. We'll pause things just 12 seconds in. 14 foul on the Braves, and that is the first on Howard. So the Bulldogs have a baseline inbound now. Simmons with the basket to her right. Guarded still by Lepe. Whips it into the left corner. Coleman back up top to Ellie Heidemann. Heidemann gives to Coleman. Hit a three there. She'll try another. Hits another one in the corner. Dree Coleman's got 7. And Hermiston's in front by 8. The opening minute. Rendall the other end. High off the glass and a jump stop finish for her first field goal of the game. 25-19 is the Hermiston lead. Hagel will drive past Smith. Kick into the corner. Coleman out to Simmons. Head fake. Get to the foul line. Floater short. Coleman's rebound. Kicked out. Hagel right wing 3 ball. Back iron too hard and it's poked out of bounds. Touched last by the Braves. And Hermiston again. Baseline inbound coming. 7:14 left in the second quarter, 25-19. Lob it into Coleman. Coleman catches, splits 2 defenders in the glass too hard, gets her own rebound. Blocked on the putback by Howard. Howard kicks it out. Wurtenberger traveled at half court to turn it right back over to the Bulldogs.
Dree Coleman, a little heat check there. Knocks down a couple big threes. I like it when she gets into the paint. She opens up so many other players when she gets into the paint.
And that shot when she gets in the paint, it's not touch.
No.
It sometimes you've got to check the backboard for a crack, but
toss it at the square.
Sometimes she finds it. Coleman gives to Simmons. Izzy coming to the right and crosses back over, trying to get away from Lepe. Lobs into the corner. Left corner for Hagel. High arcing shot. Rims out for Howard. Mia Howard for Kamiakin. Lobs it to Wurtenberger. 6:42 left in the second quarter. And a 6-point lead. It gets all the way across. Rendall right side, 3 front iron off. Backside rebound for Smith. Smith to Rendall, floating into the lane. Missed the shot, tipped into the hands of Simmons. For Hermiston, Izzy is double teamed. Knocked out of her hands, gets it back and whips it to Heidemann. Lots of pressure. Hermiston does get it across. And Heidemann hesitates and drives, gives to Cameron Hagel. Hagel to Coleman, left side. How about another one? How about another 3 for Dree Coleman? She's got 10 points to lead all scorers and has Hermiston out in front by 9, their largest lead of the game. 2 minutes in to quarter 2. Other end, Lepe forces a shot. Ackerman misses after defending. Hands to Simmons. Izzy wings it up court. Coleman in left corner to a trailing Heidemann. 3-point shot. Airballed it to the right, and Howard's got it. Howard up court to Wurtenberger. Wurtenberger streaking hip from behind. She'll have to earn the 2 points at the foul line on Ellie Heidemann's second foul. And the 14th foul on the Bulldogs.
Well, if we can keep playing this fast, Eric, I think we're going to be in pretty good shape. But, and of course, being in shape is the important piece of it. It looks like the Kamiakin girls right now, some of them lining up at the foul lane, got their hands on their knees and wondering where the oxygen went in the gym right now because it is a very fast-paced game.
Yeah, and to that point, Kamiakin is playing faster this year. They're averaging over 73 points per game, nearly 74 points per game. But they're relatively new to the whole deal of playing at this speed. This is old hat in Hermiston.
Well, and playing fast for big bodies is a lot different than playing fast for little bodies. And it's a heck of a lot more difficult for those girls that are big athletes that Kamiakin has to keep up.
Simmons, right wing, will try a 3 off iron to the right, and Howard's got the rebound. And then it's knocked out of bounds. Touched last by Cameron Hagel, so it stays with Kamiakin. 28-21, the Hermiston advantage. 5:27 on the clock, second quarter. Nicole Thomas back into the game. Leaves it for Smith, out to the right side. Rendall open 3, hit that one. Can't give her too much space. Hagel leaves it for Ellie Heidemann. Heidemann, guarded by Thomas, will attack her and lob it back to Cameron Hagel. Bounce inside, and Mia Howard came across and stole the pass intended for Abby Edwards. 5:02 left, up to Rendall, lays it in on a pass from Thomas. She's got Kamiakin on a little comeback run. The Braves are within 2. Under 5 minutes remaining in the first half. Izzy Simmons, 3 on the handoff, hit that one. And a timeout given to Jay Ego. Full timeout for the Bulldogs with their lead 31-26. 4:44 left in quarter number 2 at Hermiston High School. We'll be back on AM 1360 KOHU. 4 minutes, 44 seconds left in the first half. Hermiston's lead is 31-26 out of a Bulldog timeout after the Simmons three-point shot. Hermiston will press 1-2-2. Lepe right wing for three. Too hard over everything. It Kiram's all the way out towards half court. Thomas chases it down first. Inside pass to Smith. Back to a cutting Thomas. Blocked and a foul given to Lucy Teagarden, the 5'10 freshman who just came into the game for the first time. 5th team foul on the Bulldogs.
Possession just before that timeout, Eric, was huge. That Kamiakin was on a 7-0 run at that point, and obviously we needed to stop the run. And that's one of the things that's a little bit different for us right now too, is that having Izzy just not being afraid of the big moment right now, stepping up and knocking down a big shot when we needed one.
Nicole Thomas misses both at a foul. Called on Mia Howard on the rebound. Izzy got inside of her, and Thomas called for the over-the-back violation. So she'll have to come back to the bench. Aubrey Heron in. 4:25 left in the second quarter. Hermiston 31-26. Kamiakin's going to come out and zone. Ellie Heidemann hands off to Izzy Simmons. Simmons into the left corner for Dree Coleman. Coleman weaving back up top, hands off to Heidemann. Heidemann driving right. Pass Rendall, a little bit too hard on the layup. Thomas has the rebound, runs into Hagel, got the pass up anyways, off of the LePay's hands, out of bounds. Thrown too hard by Imani Smith, the freshman. 4:03 left in the second. At a 5-point Hermiston lead. Heidemann hands off to Hagel. And Simmons coming right. Simmons got an open runner. Glassing good with the right hand from about 8 feet away. Izzy's got 14 here in the first half. And the Bulldogs lead is 33-26. They break the press. Thomas kicks right corner. Aubrey Heron for three, knocked it down. Third triple of the game for the Braves. And it cuts the Hermiston lead to 4. 3.5 minutes left before halftime. Coleman kicks near side, and Hagel, an answer back three, airballed it off to the left. Rendall does well to shield Teagarden off from trying to save it in, and so it'll be Kamiakin's ball. Teagarden comes out, and Alexis Ackerman returns. Rendall, who inbounds it, Lane Shoemaker said one of the things that he's had to work on with her as she gets ready to go to Idaho State is she has to be more than just an outside shooter. Pass down inside, nicely done, onto the block, and a foul by Ackerman will send the sophomore Heron to the line to shoot 2 foul shots. But Rendall has just been this tall, lanky outside shooter for most of her career,
right.
And this year the focus has been add some elements. Ackerman's foul, by the way, her first, and the 6th team foul. Heron has been getting some starts, and Shoemaker decided tonight to go with Mia Howard. She gets both, and the sophomore cuts the Hermiston lead back down to 2. 3:09 left.
I think just adding a little additional size is probably what they're going to get out of that for sure. You know, right now, I think ever since that timeout when Izzy hit a shot, Kamiakin's come out in a triangle and 2 right now, and they're doing the best they can to keep the ball out of Ellie and Izzy's hands and try to keep those two from hurting us, but that's something I'm sure there's going to be some conversations about at halftime with Jay Ego.
Rendall got the steal from Ellie, and then up court to Thomas. Nicole Thomas attacks down to the block, and Dree Coleman got in front of her and drew the charge. Offensive foul on Nicole Thomas. It's her 3rd. 6 team fouls. Presumably, that means that for the final 2:46 of the first half, Thomas is back to the bench. Hermiston up 33-31. Ellie Heidemann gives to Cameron Hagel. Lob it into the right corner for Heidemann. 3-point shot. Always the air ball too hard. Heron's got the board for Kamiakin. Heron's out on the race. Out to the left side for Smith. Pull up, 15-footer. Front iron very short. Got her own rebound. Leaves it top of the key. Wurtenberger 3-ball. Front iron off. Rebound put back. Floated in by Heron. It's the 2nd and the 3rd chances that have Kamiakin in a place where they've been able to tie this game back up.
It certainly has been, and I think probably most of their foul shots they've gotten were off of offensive rebounds as well.
Lepe steals the ball from Simmons, and Simmons will foul her at half court to slow things back up. Leanna Lepe, last year's MCC Defensive Player of the Year, helping lead that Pasco team deep into the 4A state tournament. Moves to Kamiakin this year for her senior campaign. And she's at the line because it is the 7th team foul on Hermiston, so 1-1. Good on the first for her first point of the night. Coach Shoemaker said about her, she will play somewhere. It's just going to be a matter of what level she gets to. At 5'4", she is undersized, and especially as a defensive stopper. Foul on the rebound, put back by Aubrey Heron.
Well, not only that, she's a skilled player. I think she's overshadowed. Her skill is overshadowed by a lot of the girls around her. And not only that, but she's an incredible athlete. And normally when you have someone on a team that's as athletic as she is, they're not overshadowed by anybody. But even here, her athleticism is overshadowed for sure.
And he did say, I mean, at the worst, she can walk into CBC and start playing for them right now.
Right, yeah, I'm sure she can. She can get an opportunity to play for a lot of NWAC teams right now.
Alexis Ackerman was fouled, and that was the 7th on Kamiakin, so it's 1-1, and on the other end, Ackerman makes the first of the 2. Lepe throws right side for Aubrey Heron. Heron knocked out of her hands, picks it back up, throw underneath. Ackerman got her hands on it, tips it away from Rendall to Heidemann. Ellie Heidemann racing into the front court, leaves it for a trailing Simmons on the left wing. Those two kind of in the same space. Across to Moreno. Moreno, the freshman, gives to Izzy. Simmons coming right, leaves. 3 for Hagel, nothing but the bottom of the net. Cameron Hagel's triple makes it a 37-34 lead for Hermiston. And then Kamiakin throws it away. They get it back to Rendall. Skip pass, near side. Wartenberger in front of the Hermiston bench. 3-pointers off iron left. Rebound, put back. Missed everything Rendall did and lost it out of bounds. Somebody must have hit that, or I think she's arguing hit her arm, because she's not missing by 3 feet from 4 feet away normally.
Well, it's good to see our girls are really fighting for boards down there. There may have been some contact. Even on the shot, we're not going to give up easy ones, and we're going to fight. That's good to see.
Hagel to a wide open Moreno, right corner, her 3. Airballed too hard. Heron's got the rebound in the corner for Kamiakin. 1:05 left before halftime. 37-34 in favor of the Bulldogs. Wartenberger to the top of the key. Rendall, long distance 3. Back iron too hard on the rebound. Kicked back out by Smith to the left wing. Wartenberger's 3. Rims around and out. Rendall rebound, reverse put back. Rolls off the front iron. Smith's got it, but Hagel steals it away from her. 44 seconds left before halftime. Bulldogs by 3. Hagel at the top of the key. Picks up her dribble. Bounces onto the right baseline for Ackerman. Ackerman back out on top to Moreno. Coming right. Back into the man-to-man for the Braves. Left side, and the pass is stolen by Heron. Heidemann's pass just not enough on it. 2-on-1, and Wartenberger finishes on the left side to cut the Hermiston lead down to 1. Final 15 seconds before halftime. Simmons, 14 points here in the first half. Leaves for Moreno. Moreno around a pick, into space, flings it up, misses everything. Ackerman saves it in, but into the hands of Lane Shoemaker and the Kamiakin bench with 3.7 seconds left. Bulldogs down by 1. Remember a week ago at Hanford, the Bulldogs saw Hanford hit last-second shots at the end of the second and third quarter. Lepe gets it up to Smith, left wing, Rendall 3, it is too late. And Hermiston will lead at halftime, 37-36 here in the doghouse. Halftime is brought to you by Devon Oil Circle K. And when we come back, we will talk to Al Davis, the first-year head coach of the Hermiston girls wrestling team. They picked up a win over Hanford here last night. We'll hear about that from him when we come back on AM 1360 KOHU.
Time entertainment, we do have a performance by the Hermiston High School cheerleaders. It's one of the performances they're going to use tomorrow at a competition. Their competition is in Moses Lake tomorrow. We wish them good luck, and you're going to watch a piece of part of their performance tonight. Great job on those Hermiston High School cheerleaders, and good luck to you tomorrow at Moses Lake. Well done, girls.
Ellie. Cam, Alexa or 3. Just move these 2 to the corners. Move these 2 up and run 2 guard. And you got Alexa and Cam, and you're here. There, and one right here. She can't guard both. You're gonna get as many wide open threes as you want. She can't guard both. Are you going to bring me pizza for these guys? Okay. Thank you. Are you hungry? You get some pizza.
Hey, back at Hermiston High School in the CMG Financial broadcast booth, it's halftime presented by Devon Oil Circle K. Hermiston 37, Kamiakin 36. The halftime stats brought to you by the Hermiston School District. Kamiakin 6 of 10 from the foul line. They hit 3 3-point shots. Hermiston 7 threes and 4 of 6 from the foul line. Izzy Simmons 14. Dree Coleman with a 10 to lead the way for Hermiston. And for Kamiakin, it was Maddie Rendall ended up with 8. Aubrey Heron with 7. And Nicole Wertenberger with a 6. Nicole Thomas, 6 points, but 3 fouls. The Memphis-bound senior did not play a ton in that first half. She'll be out there along with Mia Howard, Leanna Lepe, Nicole Wertenberger, and Maddie Rendall. The starting lineups brought to you by Rogers Toyota. For Hermiston, Ellie Eidemann, Izzy Simmons, Alexis Ackerman, Cameron Hagel, and Dree Coleman. The Bulldogs will start in a zone here in the second half on defense as Kamiakin attacks left to right.
Be interesting to see if Kamiakin comes back out in their triangle and 2 again in the second half. It got him back in the game, that's for sure.
Wertenberger skip pass over to the right side, and Rendall's got it inside to Howard. Howard against Ackerman, steps to her left. Ackerman defends it well. It's tipped out by Ellie Heidemann into the hands of Hagel for the Bulldogs. They come the other direction. Hagel, a rare, slows it down at the top, coming left, fouled on the arm by Nicole Thomas, who holds the ball in disbelief. Not given against her. It was the body by Wertenberger, her first.
Kamiakin definitely missed Thomas in the first half, but I don't think they missed her for a lot of the reasons that people would think, scoring, for example, or defense. Just her athleticism on the floor it really gives Kamiakin a huge advantage sometimes.
Lane Shoemaker said one of the things that a coach is always looking for is, can you get that complete 32-minute game? And I've, over the career of Nicole Thomas, for me, what makes her so dynamic is she has these dynamic couple of minute flashes of things, and that's what makes her so difficult and has so much potential at that next level. Lob right side, and Simmons steals the pass up in front of one intended for Thomas. Hangs on to lay it in over the top of Lepe, who was trying to chase her down. Izzy's got 16.
And you would probably see that a lot of those flashes, Eric, come from or are brought about by not only her great skill level, but her just tremendous athleticism and length. She's definitely an athlete at Memphis. There's no doubt about it.
Lepe, head fake, and got Coleman into the air. Coleman commits harm. Dree's first. It is the first team foul in the second half. And a near side inbound for Kamiakin. Rendall's got it on the wing. Lob inside to Thomas. Thomas, one bounce, a little fade away lefty short. Ackerman's got the shot and gets it out to Hagel. Hagel into the front court for Hermiston. Cameron coming to her left. Slows up at the elbow, pipped out of her hands, gets it back, gives to Ackerman. Ackerman drives, kicks, Coleman 3 in the right corner in front of the student section. Dree's got her 4th triple of the game and has Hermiston out in front. It says 43-36. I missed a free throw.
I believe so. I think, didn't Cameron Hagel go 1 for 2?
Oh, yeah, Hagel went 1 for 2, yep. Shooters roll. Nicole Wertenberger got the jumper to fall for her from distance. 5:53 on the clock, 43-39. First points there for Kamiakin second half. To a cutting Heidemann, left corner, Coleman. Why not? Hot hand rattles it in.
That answers our question, Eric, about whether or not Kamiakin's going to come back out in the triangle and 2, and they are. And they're going to have to allow anybody other than Izzy and Ellie to shoot the ball, and Dree Coleman obviously is going to make them pay.
Rebound, put back, foul, and Howard's going to the line for a 3-point play. The foul goes against Ackerman, her second on Hermiston here in the second half, and it pauses the clock with 5:27. Mia Howard, that's her first field goal. She did make both foul shots she took in the first quarter and gets that to fall as well. So the Hermiston lead is again 4. 5:24 left in the third quarter. Hagel hands off to Simmons. Step back lobs. Right corner for the hot hand Coleman. Coleman drives. Fills into the lane off Ackerman's hands and into the hands of Wertenberger. Straight on for Kamiakin. Wertenberger goes left, gives Thomas that way. Thomas attacks. Pass Heidemann. Floater short. Rebound. Ellie let it drop. It gets tipped back out. Skip it. Out of bounds over the top of Lepe into the bench for Kamiakin, and Hermiston's got the ball in the turnover.
We were very fortunate there, Eric. Normally, I like to say the basketball gods are going to make us pay for some of those kind of possessions where a ball falls in our hands and we don't secure it.
Top of the key. Hagel just stops and pops a 3 over the top of Wertenberger. Hagel's got 9. 49-42, 4:40 left in the third quarter. Skip it up top, it's over Lepe's hands. Hagel will chase it down anyways, into the right corner. Back to Heidemann, 3-pointer for Ellie, short, just hasn't had her range tonight. Thomas dribbled it out of bounds, it'll stay Bulldog ball.
Lucy Teagarden. Teagarden got an action for the
Lucy Teagarden comes back in for Alexis Ackerman, played about a minute and a half in the first half. Also played JV. Hermiston lost that 65-41 on the Columbia Orthodontics scoreboard. Hagel against Wertenberger. Will go backdoor, picked up by Thomas on the steal. Hagel ripped it right back away from her and has the open lay-in. The swipe and the score for 2 more for Cameron Hagel. She's got 11. 51-42. And then Simmons tips a pass away from Howard. It's loose and a jump ball. As Simmons and, Imani Smith end up on the floor together. Alexa Moreno will come in. Dree Coleman gets a break.
It's great right here, the fact that you sub in for Dree, who's been knocking down shots tonight, and you sub in with Alexa Moreno, who's a great shooter. And I don't think we're going to miss a beat here as long as Alexa can come in and defend just as well.
Hagel backdoors to Simmons. Simmons on the left baseline floats it in over the top of Lepe. 18 for Izzy, 53-42. 3:40 left in the third quarter. Rendall between the rings. Lobs it, Lepe, extra pass. Thomas left baseline. Teagarden blocks the shot attempt. Filled back into the lane for Lepe, hit on the arm. Teagarden commits the harm. And 2 foul shots coming for Lepe. But just the closeout read by Lucy Teagarden to get a block on Nicole Thomas, it probably is deserving of the Next Chapter Bookstore read of the game. Find new books in all genres, from children's picture books, middle grade and young adult, to fiction, thrillers, and true crime, and everything in between, plus lots of bookish gifts along with an art wall and a game wall. Step into your next adventure at the Next Chapter Bookstore. Lepe goes 1 of 2 at the line. She's got just 2 points for a player averaging just under 10 points a game. 53-43 with 3.5 minutes left. Ellie Heidemann in the right corner. Catches against Heron. She'll attack Aubrey Heron. Turn around, blocked by Heron. Ellie got it back and out to Hagel. Hagel, hesitation. She'll drive against Wurtenberger. Spins her around, gets it up off the glass. Rebound tipped out and put back up by Moreno. Shooter's roll won't fall. Teagarten battling for it. Tipped away from her. Picked up by Thomas. Thomas races into the front court. For Kamiakin, she'll jump and stop in the paint and lay it in for her first second half points.
Well, Kamiakin has abandoned that triangle and two and matched up man here, so hopefully our girls can keep their rhythm going now that there's a change in the defense a little bit.
Izzy Simmons drives left baseline, lobs it across. Moreno right corner. 3-ball, back iron too hard. Lepe's got it. 53-45 Hermiston. 2:43 left. Simmons intercepts the pass up on the other end of the floor. Intended for Wurtenberger. Instead, Izzy for Hermiston. Brings it into the front court. Bulldogs by 8. Right side for Hagel. Claps for it. Gets it. 3-pointer. Rolls in off the front iron. Hagel's feeling it this quarter. She's got 9 of her 14, and Lane Shoemaker's forced to call a full timeout with 2:28 left. And the Bulldogs, their largest lead of the game at 56-45. We'll take the minute as well on AM 1360 KOHU. Hermiston 56, Kamiakin 45. 2:28 left in the third quarter. On December 9th, it was 83-50. And the Kamiakin Braves were rolling at the start of the season. They've been rolling through the MCC 8-0. That's at risk tonight. Left corner 3 for Liv Whitemarsh. Bass gets the shooter's roll for her first points of the night out of that timeout. 56-48. 2:10 left in the third. Simmons onto the right baseline for Ellie Heidemann. Back out. Simmons, top of key 3. Heron blocks it away. She's got 3 swats now, and then a travel in the backcourt by Imani Smith.
Looks like Kamiakin makes another adjustment defensively here and is either going to go back to a triangle and 2. Yeah, it sure looks that way. You're going to go back to a triangle and 2 to try to slow Illy and Izzy down a little bit.
I mean, Ellie's got 5. Izzy, though, at 18. Moreno in the right corner. Bounce back to Izzy between the rings. She'll attack. Floater. Too hard. Rebound pulled down by Heron, but she turns, trips over the ball, turned over to Simmons for Hermiston. Skip pass into the left corner. First touch of the game for Sydney Parker, who came out at the timeout. Right side for Simmons. Izzy lobs it. Back to Ellie. Tipped by Aubrey Heron. The sophomore, 6 feet tall. She's just so long at a wing position. Simmons lobs into the left corner. Parker there. Catch, shoot the triple. Airballed it short. Imani Smith gives to Heron. Heron got away with a walk. Gets it up to Wurtenberger across the timeline. Minute 20 left in the third. 8-point Hermiston lead. Whitemarsh pass out to the right side. Lepe lost the handle before she get a 3-pointer up. Heron back to Lepe. Attacks on the give and go and lays it in for her first field goal of the game. Lepe cuts the Hermiston lead down to 56-50. A minute left in the third quarter. Ellie Heidemann left side for Simmons. Izzy out to Parker, left corner for Heidemann. Ellie got a 3-pointer up and off iron. Rebound put back for Teagarten, threw it over everything. It's knocked out of Parker's hands, picked up by Smith for Kamiakin. Up court to Lepe. Lepe will attack, and Simmons called for a foul. She swatted the ball but also got the body. Simmons second and the third team foul.
Well, Eric, our girls have certainly earned the respect of Lane Schumacher.
An intentional foul was just called on Izzy Simmons.
Wow, she hit the ball, Eric. The definition of an intentional foul is fouling without making a play on the ball, and she hit the ball.
Lepe hits the first of the foul shots. Jay Ego getting explanation from the official who called that intentional.
I can guarantee it was not a very good explanation because I don't think you have one for that.
I mean, just because the foul's a bit harder doesn't mean that.
No, she absolutely made a play on the ball.
She didn't hit the head. She did.
What he is probably trying to describe to Jay down there would probably be a flagrant foul if he believes she fouled her too hard, and that's what the call should be. You don't call an intentional foul. It was not an intentional foul. Well, nor was it a flagrant.
Right, Kamiakin gets the ball, but throws it away on the inbound. Steal by Hagel. 39 seconds left. The lead for Hermiston is 4 again. Ellie Heidemann, right side for Hagel. Hagel, who's got 14, is fouled. Lepe holding foul, her first of the game. Second team foul. By the way, that's one of the things that makes her so good defensively. As hard as she's played defensively all night, that's the first time she's committed a foul.
Yeah, she does a great job. She's really disciplined on the defensive end, but of course that athleticism, her quickness really helps her out in that area.
Hagel driving right, bounces to Simmons in the right corner. Izzy back to Hagel. Cameron will drive baseline, got past the defender, skip it back out on top. Ellie Heidemann 3-ball. Still can't find her range, and Imani Smith has the rebound. Throws it up court to Lepe. Lepe hesitates, lays it in on the right side, and cuts the Hermiston lead to 2. 8 seconds left before the end of the third quarter. Moreno's got it, didn't realize the time. Now she starts getting up court. Drives, pushes, will float it up, short on the shot, however. And Hermiston's lead is 56-54 as Kamiakin closes on a 9-0 run as we go to the fourth quarter here at Hermiston High School. When we come back in a minute on AM 1360 KOHU. That's not worse than the goaltending call on Tuesday night, but it's damn close.
Yeah.
Kamiakin Braves 8-0 in the MCC. That undefeated conference record is on the line here at Hermiston tonight, and they trail 56-54. They start with the ball in the fourth quarter at Hermiston. Into the right corner for Leanna Lepe. Down inside, Imani Smith, and Stacey Simmons comes in and rips the ball away from the freshman. Hermiston sophomore comes into the front court. Right side for Ellie Heidemann. Heidemann, just 1 3-pointer made. She's gotten some looks, just hasn't had the night she had when she had 8 at Kamiakin back on December 9th, but that was a huge loss for Hermiston. Wertenberger up court. Heidemann missed the steal. Wertenberger missed the layup. Rebound put back for Aubrey Heron. She's got 9, 7 of which came in the second quarter, but Heron's bucket ties the game at 56. Cameron Hagel, jump stop into traffic, and Jay Ego give it a timeout. Hagel looking at the official saying, I got hit right on the head. And Jay Ego wants a timeout 45 seconds into the fourth quarter with the game tied at 56. Kamiakin wasn't going to go quietly into the night, and obviously that 9-0 run to end the quarter, and now it's an 11-0 run, has got them back to even.
Well, like I mentioned earlier, that obviously we've earned the respect of Kamiakin and Lane Schumacher that nobody that's as good as Kamiakin works defensively on playing man and playing a triangle and 2 and now playing a 1-2-2, but he's done a good job of making those defensive adjustments to allow his team to go on an offensive run by forcing some turnovers and having our girls make some bad decisions. But right now what our girls got to do, sit down, have some conversations about how to attack this 1-2-2, make some adjustments, but right now the damage is done, but if we can make some adjustments on how to attack it, same as when they went into the triangle and 2, our girls can go on a run.
This was halftime, but on the Columbia Orthodontics scoreboard, Kennewick cruising against Hanford 42-18. Chiawana up on Southridge 34-14. Walla Walla beating Pasco 51-34. That was a while ago. Those scores are all different now. 7:10 left in the fourth, and it's tied at 56 here in Hermiston. Bulldogs trying to get over 500 in the MCC with a win over the Braves. Near side for Izzy Simmons. Right for Heidemann. And the ball's kicked out of bounds by Maddie Rendall. Rendall has not scored in the second half. Has been limited on her time on the floor, along with Nicole Thomas, who's been limited with foul trouble. Inbound by Simmons, got tipped away. Simmons got it anyways, and then Rendall blocks the shot. And Hermiston will keep it on the baseline. Simmons, the inbounder. Bounce it into the left block, and Hagel's picked from behind by Lepe. Lepe gets it back from Rendall and will work it into the front court. Kamiakin has a chance to take a lead for the first time since 10-7. Smith throws it across. Rendall, three-point shot, knocked it down. There's their lead, and there's her first bucket in the second half. 59-56. The run's out to 14 in a row now. Heidemann and Simmons back and forth. Izzy gives to Ellie. Right wing for Cameron Hagel. Hagel had 9 points in the third quarter, 14 total. Down to Ackerman. Ackerman across the lane is tipped out of bounds.
Well, they're saying there was no tip there. I'm not sure there was.
Yeah. Thrown out of bounds.
I think Ackerman was probably looking for Dree Coleman to slide down on the baseline, and there was a great opportunity for an open shot there, but with that baseline penetration, we had something going.
Bulldogs zoning. Rendall catch and shoot the three off iron left. Wartenberger picks it up, throws it in lane. It's tipped away from Lepe. Simmons races in and steals the ball, gives it to Hagel for Hermiston, up court to Ellie Heidemann. Ellie Heidemann will attack Wartenberger, kick into the corner for Dree. Back out to Simmons. Simmons to Hagel, extra pass, right corner. Heidemann three, and blocked again by Rendall in that corner. Lepe's got it for Kamiakin. The Braves have a 3-point lead. 2.5 minutes into the fourth quarter. On the break, missed by Wartenberger. Rebound putback. Smith misses that as well. Everybody's watching. Smith gets the offensive board. Out to Rendall. Her three, too hard. And the ball, Heron loses it out of bounds, trying to keep it in. Shielded off the ball, at least long enough by Izzy Simmons. Simmons with 18, the leading scorer for Hermiston. Dree Coleman's got 16 in tonight's game. Lob into the left corner. Izzy Simmons catch, shoot the three. It's off the back iron. Long rebound. Ellie waited for it. It's poked up court. Wartenberger all by herself. Left side lay-in.
Again, when we're undersized and we're going to give up a lot of boards, we have got to be aggressive and go after loose balls.
Ellie Heidemann coming right, gives to Simmons between the rings. Lob it into the right corner, and Rendall knocks it out of bounds. Caromed off of the head of a Loma Vista student who's heading down to the west end, where the Loma Vista students and staff are in a special section tonight. Ellie Heidemann gives to Izzy Simmons. Cameron Hagel, Alexis Ackerman, and Dree Coleman, the 5 for Hermiston right now. Lob it left corner for Simmons. Skip pass right side. Coleman, three-pointer. How about another? Yeah! Wow. Dree Coleman with 19, career high, and the Bulldogs are down by 2. Dree Coleman has hit 6 triples tonight. Answer back 3 for Wartenberger. She splashed it at a timeout given to Lane Shoemaker. Full timeout with 4:13 left, and the Braves in front 64-59. We'll be back in a minute at Hermiston High School on AM 1360 KOHU. In the CMG Financial broadcast booth at Hermiston High School, Eric Olson along with the athletic director Larry Usher. We wish Sonny Levy well as he travels down to Nevada. His son David gets married this weekend. Sonny has a birthday tomorrow as well. What a present from David. Could Hermiston's girls give a present to everybody here tonight in the doghouse? They're trailing 64-59. They've led most of the game. Dree Coleman, leading scorer, out to Simmons for three. Back iron into the hands of Leanna Lepe for Kamiakin. 5-point lead for the Braves. Pass is tipped. Lepe then fouled by Coleman, coming out to defend up top. Dree's second, 15th foul on Hermiston.
That's a good way to not forget your dad's birthday, right? I'm sure his wife's going to remind him all the time, hey, don't forget it's your dad's birthday.
Savvy move. Rendall stepped up round a three-point shot. Down inside to Imani Smith. Turnaround miss. Rebound put back for Heron. That's off. Smith grabs the board. Throws it back onto the perimeter. Rendall there. Rendall picked up her dribble. Throws it down. Heron out onto the baseline perimeter. Back to Rendall. Rendall drive. Pull up. Kind of an awkward 15-footer.
We got to win that ball.
Pings around. Heron gets it back into Rendall. Flips it in.
Had three white jerseys in the middle of the paint. I think every one of them got a hand on it, Eric.
66-59. Simmons on the left wing. Skipping to the right corner. Dree Coleman there. Closed out that time well. Out to Hagel. It's poked out of her hands by Lepe. Bounce to Simmons. Izzy throws it back up top and it's stolen to Heron. Heron coming against Heidemann, will get fouled, lay it in, and a chance for a three-point play the old-fashioned way on Ellie's third. Kamiakin Braves have found a way to close this game out. And since a timeout when Hermiston was up 56-45, the Braves have outscored Hermiston 21-3. Make it 22-3 as the foul shot goes. 10-point lead for the Braves with 2:50 left. To Simmons. Simmons open to the lane and lays it in. Got past Rendall. Izzy's got 20. Bulldogs have to get a stop here, and coach, for them, that's really just been get a rebound on a miss.
Well, either that or we've got to force some turnovers. You know, the easiest way to score against the zone is to score in transition. And
Rendall, three in the right corner.
And since they've gone into this zone, it's helped their offense a little bit because we really haven't had any chances to get out in transition.
Ellie Heidemann gives to Izzy Simmons. Simmons coming to the right. Into the corner for Hagel. Hagel bounces it back to Izzy. Izzy steps to right against Wertenberger. Leaves for Hagel. Hagel slipping back to the top of the key. Bounce pass to Coleman. Dree to Simmons. Down inside to Ackerman. Ackerman under the basket. Will try the reverse. Blocked away by Smith. Imani Smith whips it up courts to Lepe. Lepe bumped and fouled by Simmons. Third team foul, third on Simmons, seventh team foul. Pauses the clock with 1:48 left in the fourth quarter. I mean, I guess the reality is that's the difference between those last two breakaway fouls. Is Ellie honestly's got to foul her harder or move her further away from a makeable shot. Simmons made it so Lepe was not going to get a basket and a shot.
Well, so many positive things have come out of Coach Schumacher moving to this 1-2-2 that allows them to keep their bigs on the blocks and help rebound a little bit. But I've always thought that the best way to stop a team that shoots the ball well from the perimeter, if you can't man them, then you go into a 1-2-2 because you cover all spots on the perimeter. You can't put two players where they have one against the zone, and you do a really good job of closing people out. You give up the middle of the floor, and that's kind of your Achilles heel in a 1-2-2, but right now our girls, we're not tough in the middle of the floor right now, so they're doing a really good job, Kamiakin is, of closing us out on the perimeter, and they're creating a lot of easy baskets for themselves with their bigs able to rebound, and their guards are just getting out and running from the top of the 1-2-2.
73-61. I keep trying to create the context here. You can probably do it better than I. This isn't the most important game of the weekend. That's tomorrow against Kennewick because it's
Absolutely.
a 3A score.
It is, absolutely. Right. I mean, it would be nice to have had a win over Kamiakin in your back pocket when it comes time to, look at tiebreakers or anything like that down the stretch. But you're right. If we're going to want to keep pace with Kamiakin and Walla Walla, Kennewick and Walla Walla, we got to win tomorrow.
And it appears both Kennewick and Walla Walla will win tonight. They were up big at halftime, both of them. And so Hermiston will go into that game with Kennewick tomorrow, back 2 in the standings. Left wing 3 for Ellie Heidemann. Back iron too hard. Just has not been able to find the range tonight. Hagel hounding Lepe in the backcourt. They get it across to Heron. Heron back to a cutting Lepe to the right wing. Skip it up to Rendall. Rendall down in the corner. Wertenberger will tee a triple and hit it. And that's the other piece. They just started hitting shots. That's their 4th 3 in the quarter. And it brings them up to 9 in the game. Hermiston still has 12 to outpace them in that particular category. Left corner, Dree Coleman 3. And with 50 seconds left, it appears that this Cinderella game for Hermiston turned into a pumpkin just at the end of the 3rd quarter. It's now a 15-point game for the Braves.
Yeah, the story of this game is runs, and obviously there's another
Lepe,
3.
right corner 3.
But Kamiakin going on 2 big runs, the one where they made an adjustment in the 2nd quarter and go into the triangle and 2, and then the adjustment into the 1-2-2, and our girls, it really slowed our girls down, and we had a really hard time keeping pace.
Coleman lobs it back out to Ellie Heidemann. Heidemann will drive to the foul line and hit a floater, her first point since the 1st quarter. The score line is 79-63. Wertenberger the other end, final 5 seconds. She'll circle back onto the perimeter, pass it out towards half court, and Rendall put it on her hip to finish the game. 79-63 the final score. Kamiakin with that huge run to close the game and pick up the win to improve to 11-2 and 9-0, staying undefeated in the MCC. For Hermiston, 6-8 and 4-5, and they got to regroup quick because Kennewick's coming here tomorrow afternoon in an incredibly important game. Sway Motors Tailgate Show when we come back here on AM 1360 KOHU. Kamiakin 79, Hermiston 63. Final score here tonight at Hermiston High School. We're into the Sway Motors Tailgate Show when we come back on AM 1360 KOHU.
Hey, he's got to shut the clock off and turn it back on. And when it says resume game, hit. All right.
We got like a couple minutes here. At Hermiston High School, final score 79-63. USA Subs and Grill play of the game. It was the extra ball movement. Ellie Heidemann got under the basket, kicked it out to the left corner, and Dree Coleman sized up a three. She made 6 of them tonight. And that one, the USA Subs and Grill play of the game. It was while Hermiston was rolling high, and then Kamiakin closed things out to get the victory for the Braves. 5 3-pointers in that fourth quarter to double up their total. Ended up with 10. Hermiston hit 12 threes tonight. Izzy Simmons, the leading scorer, again with 20. Dree Coleman had a career best 19. Cameron Hagel added 14, 9 of which came in the third quarter. Quiet night for Nicole Thomas, but as Lane Shoemaker said, they get it from a bunch of different places. And tonight, it was 17 from Nicole Wartenberger and 16 from Maddie Rendall. Aubrey Heron off of the bench, the sophomore, who sometimes is the starter, maybe earned her starting job back, and 12 points in the winning effort for the Braves. So when this back-to-back setup is part of the MCC life, how do you survive in advancing and move on to the next night, no matter which team we're talking about here?
Well, I think for our girls right now, I don't think you walk in the locker room hanging your head. I think you feel like, hey, you really had the best team in our conference on the ropes. And I don't think there's anybody in the Greater Spokane League or anybody else in our league that's going to give them that kind of contest where they're going to have to make multiple adjustments to try to stay in the game. Kamiakin's used to, I think, beating people handily with their size, athleticism, their skill, and our girls did a great job tonight. But, so I think you walk into the locker room and you build on those positives right now after the game, and you use those going into tomorrow, knowing that if we play this well tomorrow, we're going to be in pretty good shape.
What is, because we would like to be in that conversation with Kamiakin, Richland, Chiawana. What's the difference right now between that top of the league and where Hermiston's at?
Well, I think the big piece is, right now, especially the first half of the season, everybody with the exception really of Kamiakin has kind of held court at home, right? I think we started out with 2 home games of our first 8, right? 6 on the road the first time through conference, and now we got 6 at home the second time through conference. So if we can hold court at home, with the exception obviously of Kamiakin, who's going on the road and beating people, most other teams are losing on the road and winning at home. And if we can do that, our girls are going to be fine, and that's part of the conversation right now. We got to get 3 or 4 wins here to finish the season out, and we can even knock off Chiawana or Richland at home, would be a bonus probably. So even tonight's, I think you probably feel like, hey, if we win tonight's game, that's a bonus. Like we talked about before, you get that in your hip pocket later on in the season. But it's going to be holding court at home, and holding court against those 3A schools is going to be important.
On the Columbia Orthodontics scoreboard, Kennewick's going to be coming in on a win. They improved to 6-3 in the conference, beating up on Hanford 80-43. And for Walla Walla, they also improve to now 5-4 in the MCC with a 75-51 win over Pasco. Kind of expected result, and frankly, this would, as far as odds makers, if they existed in high school sports goes, Kamiakin was the favorite coming in here tonight. So the big ones tomorrow night for the Hermiston girls as they will host Kennewick. That is what is ahead when we look ahead with LiUNA. If you'd like to feel the power of joining the Laborers International Union of North America and start a career and earn while you learn, LiUNA has an accredited apprenticeship program will take you into a lifelong career, earning a family wage with a full family medical insurance and retirement. Explore the opportunity of becoming a construction craft laborer with LiUNA. Check out Laborers Local 737 or OregonLaborers.com. 79-63 the final. And now the boys will take the court next. Can the Hermiston boys pick up a win at home over a Kamiakin Braves team that beat them pretty handily back on December 9th? We'll hear from the head coach, Romaine Smith, as we continue here on the Sway Motors Tailgate Show on AM 1360 KOHU. Bulldog Basketball at AM 1360 KOHU Hermiston. We welcome you as well online at gohermiston.com and mixler.com/1360 KOHU, the web stream, powered by Eastern Oregon Telecom. That's internet at the speed of life. Bulldog boys and the Kamiakin Braves getting set to meet for the second time this season. Meeting one back on December 9th in Kamiakin. Kamiakin High School went the Braves' way, 68-36. Now, it should be noted, this is how much better Hermiston is defending this year, even at the start of the season when it hadn't all come together yet for Romaine Smith's team. Because 17th-year head coach Brian Manili in year 16 put up a 99-20 and an 86-45 win over the Hermiston Bulldogs. So things have gotten better. Hermiston is, on average this season, through their 6 wins and 7 losses, giving up 63.8 points per game. That number's pretty high for high school, but with the speed that they play, not incredibly high. But what it is about 20 points per game fewer than they were giving up last year. Now, the Braves are still a high-scoring team, 64.6 points per game. Their defense is one of their calling cards, 51.5 points per game against. 8 wins, 4 losses, 6-2 in the MCC. You could argue that they have not had the best of run over the last week and a half, with 2 wins over Pasco and Hanford as expected, but losses to both Walla Walla and Richland. And just like the girls' side and the boys' side of the MCC, it has been much harder to win on the road. So that's what Kamiakin is going to try to do here tonight. Look at the opposing team is brought to you by the Desert Lanes Family Fun at Desert Lanes, an oasis of family fun. Carson Clem recognized by Drew Clemon and Austin Bledsoe and Blake Peterson down on the court right now as the Hermiston Bulldogs recognize an important staff member before the start of the contest. A nice handshake as well with Romaine Smith as Clem comes off of the floor. At one time, a member of the coaching staff here at Hermiston High School in the basketball program. So, can the Bulldog boys do it? Well, let's take a look at who the teams are going to throw out here on the floor and have that exact conversation. Starting lineups brought to you by Rogers Toyota. And for the Kamiakin Braves, 6'2" senior guard Javier Sideretz will start things off, along with a 5'7" senior Fabian Hernandez, a 6'6" junior guard Peter Dress. He is the number 2 scorer in the Mid-Columbia Conference behind Hermiston's Grant Olson. So we get another one of those head-to-heads. 5'11" junior guard Tayson Wager. And rounding out the 5, the 6'6" junior forward Xavier Gladney. For 17-year head coach Brian Manili, he is assisted by Reed Pepperdow, Hayden Nelson. Paul Malasani is the JV coach. Oliver Browning, the assistant coach, and Justin Kelly also on the staff. The superintendent in the Kennewick School District is Dr. Tracy Pierce. The principal at Kamiakin, Chris Chellin. The athletic director is Kyle Cowan, and the trainer is Sierra Ashworth. For the Braves, who are 8-4, 6-2, averaging 64.6 points per game, giving up 51.5 points per game. And for the Hermiston Bulldogs, it will be the 6'2" sophomore point guard Isaac Corey with the 6'2" junior post Bradley Hotman. 6'4" junior forward Grant Olson, the number 1 scorer in the MCC by over 3 points per game on Dress. Olson is now over 25 points per game coming into tonight's contest. Landon Shilhonic, the 6'0" junior guard, and Blake Peterson, the 5'9" junior guard, round out the 5. For second-year head coach Romaine Smith, who's assisted by Ricardo Rodriguez. Gunnar Olson and Rich Devon, the JV coaches Matthew Bake, John Cleveland, round out the staff. The principal is Tom Spoo, the superintendent in Hermiston, Dr. Tricia Mooney. The athletic director is with me here tonight, Larry Escher. He is assisted by Vicky Paola, and the trainer for 22 years at Hermiston is Dan Emery. Bulldogs 6-7, 4-4 in the MCC in a logjam of the 3A teams. They, Walla-Walla and Kennewick, all enter the night with a 4-4 record. Who is going to be in the top spot of the MCC after tonight? More importantly, after tomorrow when Kennewick comes here. So, it's been a minute, as the kids say, since Hermiston has had a win over Brian Manili's Kamiakin Braves. Can they do it tonight, and if so, how, Coach?
I think they can. Well, one, obviously, we're going to have to do a really good job of taking care of the basketball. We got to value possessions and rebound, but we've got to do a good job of slowing Kamiakin down on the offensive end. You know, we played some games early in the season similar to last year where our kids were always in a scramble defensively because we didn't value keeping the ball in front. But lately, our kids have done a really good job of valuing defensive and offensive possessions. That's going to be important. But I can tell you one thing for sure. The second half of the MCC season is going to be a lot different in the first half for Grant Olson. It is. Teams are going to do similar to what the girls did in the first game, try to keep the ball out of his hands. They're going to make him have to work to not just get baskets, they're going to make him work to get touches on the offensive end.
When you were the coach here and I was far younger, I would pretend like I'd never made a mistake before. This was just yet another one. 36 points is not the new career high. It ties the career high. It was 36 at Sela last year. So Grant's had 36 twice. He's had 36, 35, and 34 this season. Whatever, he scores the ball, and he's done it really successfully lately. As you said, how is he going to be defended tonight? How many opportunities will he have? Olsen in the home white uniforms with white numerals trimmed in black in the jump circle with Javier Sideretz. Sideretz wins the tip way back to the end line, and Fabian Hernandez will bring it into the front court, and Blake Peterson will pick him up at half court. The Kamiakin Braves in an all-black uniform. Braves across the chest in red. Sideretz in the lane will lay it in, given... Maybe not given the basket. It went in, but the official put the 2 up into the air right away. And so the shot is not going to go. The foul before the shot.
I think his partners are going to correct him here.
Okay, he is going to be given the chance for a 3-point play. Yeah, you really can't have 2 shots if you're counting it as a shooting foul.
Well, it wouldn't be like we've not seen anything stranger than that.
No, not in the last week from that whistle. 3-0 as Sideretz makes that as well. Here on the opening possession for Hermiston, it's Isaac Corey keeping it in play. Sideretz on him as he works out of the right corner. Everywhere he goes, Tyson Wager is on Grant Olson right now. Blake Peterson in the paint, tries a pocket pass tipped away from Hotman and picked up by Wager. Left wing, Sideretz tees up a 3-point shot. Rattles around and out and pulled down by Shilhanek. Out to Peterson. Peterson brings it into the front court with Hermiston down by a bucket and then throws it away. Tipped away from Hotman. Kamiakin the other direction. Open Sideretz. He finds space, drives baseline, lobs it back out on the perimeter. 3-point shot by Dress, and he's fouled in the act of shooting. The foul called from the other side of the floor. The official standing in front of the Hermiston bench called a foul on a shot that was out on the right wing.
And we got the official on the other side of the floor, patting his chest like the kids do, saying, my fault, I think, that maybe feeling like he missed one there. I don't know, but like we said at the start of the game, Eric, we've got to take care of the basketball, and we'll be okay. Well, we've got 2 possessions, 2 turnovers, and then on the defensive end, they put us in a scramble twice. We're out of position, and we end up having to foul twice. And now they were just going to administer 2 shots.
So an adjustment to it. It is 2 more shots for Dress, who missed the first. Kamiakin, a 64.2% foul shooting team. So number 2 scorer in the conference. About 2 weeks ago, he was the top scorer in the conference, and Grant Olson was in the 3 spot. Grant has just had night after night to lead Hermiston. But Kamiakin is out in front 5-0 in the opening minute plus of the first quarter. Blake Peterson out on the left wing. Throws it down inside. Olsen stuck under the basket. Lobs it back on the perimeter. Peterson there. Peterson Top of the key for Shilhonic. He'll drive right, get around Sidorets, throw it inside, and it's knocked away from Hotman. Scramble in the corner, picked up, and Kamiakin's got the steal. Finds Sidorets. Sidorets will bring it into the front court. Stuck. Kick it back out on top. Left side for Dress. Peter Dress. Top of the key. Fabian Hernandez tee up a three-point shot. Very short. Poked in play into Grant Olson's hands for Hermiston. Bulldogs down by 5. 6:10 left in the first quarter. Hand off to Olson. Driving left. Cut off well there. His pass poked back to his chest. Out to Shilhonic, and between the rings, Isaac Corey puts it on his hip. 15 on the shot clock. Corey spinning left. Has the ball off his foot. Down on the floor, and a jump ball. Tied up by Shilhonic.
Well, and he just signaled to give Kamiakin the ball. And
that might have been our arrow that time.
It definitely was. I don't want to say it. The whistle's blown 3 times, and it feels like all 3 of them were wrong, Eric.
5:52 left in the first quarter. 5-0. Kamiakin with the advantage as Shilhonic holds up top. Gives to Peterson in the right corner. Passes off course, and it's out of bounds. I said Kamiakin's calling card is their defense. They score a bunch because they score off of transition, off of forced turnover.
Absolutely. And like I said to start the game, that what's going to be really important for us, can we beat Kamiakin? Well, we've got to take care of the ball. And we start out 4 possessions and 4 turnovers. We haven't even gotten a shot off yet. And it's not like it's stifling defense, trapping everywhere. They're just playing half-court man and doing a good job of it, and we're not taking care of the basketball.
5:39 left in the first quarter. Blake Peterson poked a ball out of bounds into the bench. And then a turnover on Kamiakin. Shilhonic gets it up court to Peterson in the right wing. Comes around a high pick from Hotman. Peterson gives to Hotman on the roll to the 10. First shot for Hermiston, too hard. Well, Wager's got the rebound. Up to Gladney. Xavier Gladney into the corner. Cigarettes there. Will drive and kick. Hernandez, extra pass, left corner. Where he'll drive and kick it. It's tipped to the backcourt. Isaac Corey in a foot race with Hernandez. He beats him to it. Isaac Corey, head fake, got Cigarettes into the air and is fouled. Can that play by the sophomore Isaac Corey give Hermiston a little breath of life with 5:07 left in the first quarter?
Well, that's definitely the kind of energy we're going to need. You see, the first few possessions, even when we've gotten defensive stops, we're kind of jogging down the floor, not really showing the energy that we have in the games that we've won and won decisively.
Or even like at Chiawana a week ago, after
Correct.
The opening 5 minutes,
right.
That was just kind of a very nervy.
Similar to this.
Yes. The difference is Kamiakin has not punished the Bulldogs like Chiawana did, where the Bulldogs were down 15-2 in the blink of an eye, and we're always playing from behind that night. Hermiston 3 minutes in is down 5-2. Fabian Hernandez gives to Peter Dress, rolls it inside, and Shilhonic gets the steal. Came from behind and poked it away from Gladney. Shilhonic head fakes, attacks Dress, and lays it in. Bucket for Landon, not something he's always asked to do. His job is on that defensive side, but get the defense, get the bucket the other end.
And that's a big basket for Landon because he really hasn't had a whole lot of confidence offensively.
Peterson steals a pass intended for Dress, and Peterson will blow past him down the floor. And Hermiston's in front 6-5. Maybe the Isaac Corey play did wake this team up. Fabian Hernandez between the rings. Bounce pass near side. Cigarettes gets it. And Peterson comes back and pokes it out of bounds. It will stay with Kamiakin. Substitution for Brian Manili. Cigarettes is out. And Celtic Merrill, 6'2 senior guard, will come in for the Braves.
I think you got that one right. I think definitely that Isaac Corey play gave our kids some energy that we need.
Spin move down onto the block, and Peter Dress earns himself a trip to the foul line on a Bradley Hotman foul. 3rd team foul. A very faint, you can't do that, off to our right. 'Tis not the Run Kano of 5 or 6 years ago when Hermiston came into the MCC and they were doing TV features on the fan group that followed this. Really, the football and basketball teams everywhere.
Yeah, their student body participation has been very, very impressive over the years.
They, like everybody, though, have fallen into a little bit of a Snapchat, Twitter, who knows what. Grant Olson gets the ball, knocks it out of hands. He goes tumbling in the middle of the floor with Gladney the other direction. Leave it for Hernandez, and he lays it in. 8-6 Kamiakin, 3:40 left in the first quarter. Peterson up top. Gives to Shulhonic. Now Corey between the rings. Puts it on his hip, poked out of his hands. And now lobbed to the top of the key. Hotman there, coming to his right, picks up his dribble. Gives it back to Corey. Isaac around a pick from Hotman at the top of the key. Out to Shulhonic, 8 on the shot clock. Bounce it inside. Olson fends off Merrill, works his way down to the block, and he walked and walked and walked. Cut it mid-paint without a dribble, ended up under the basket. Kamiakin will bring Hernandez out, and Jake Shoemaker, the nephew of the girls' head coach, Lane, will come into the game and run the point guard position with Kamiakin up by 2. 3:05 left first quarter. Peter Dress, jump stop in front of the foul line, lays it in with the right hand. First field goal for Dress. 10-8 lead for Kamiakin. 2:50 left in the first quarter. Blake Peterson left wing. He'll come around, Dress down the lane, and the ball is poked up to the glass by Gladney, but it misses. Wagers got into the backcourt. He'll bounce pass up court. Gladney into the right corner. Three-pointer for the lefty Shoemaker. Back iron and saved in by Shulhonic to Isaac Corey for Hermiston. He'll turn and bring it up floor. Bulldogs down by 4. Under 2.5 left in the first quarter. A top of key 3 rims around and out for Corey. Into the hands of Merrill. He'll throw it away. Isaac Corey with the interception. Corey will drive. He'll come around Merrill with a spin move to the right block and lay it in.
Another great hustle play by Isaac, and of course Blake follows it up going after a ball here and picks up a foul 92 feet from the rim, but Kamiakin had possession, and Kamiakin was headed down the floor in transition. Not really sure either why we foul there or why that's called.
Peterson out. His foul, his first 4th team foul. Bulldogs down 10-8 with 2:09 left and into the game. And now checking the ball as it's brought up the court, Kiki Carrillo, the 5'8 senior. Down right side, Gladney will drive and take to the hoop, banks it in to extend the lead back to 4. Under 2 minutes left in quarter 1. Isaac Corey drives, bounces on the block. Hotman reverses it around to the right side. He's gotten so good at using the rim as a screener for his shots inside. It helps when he's giving up 4 or 5 inches to the guys defending him. Out on the perimeter, pass inside, and at the foul line. Missed shot, rebound offensively, though, for Kamiakin. Gladney's got it, down in the left corner. Wager will drive there. Kick it back to Gladney on the left wing. Gladney works it back out on top, into the hands of Gladney now. He'll spin, come to his left, lost his handle, and that's a shot clock violation on the Braves.
It's a good defensive possession. Our kids did a really good job of rotating. We're switching every screen right now, which is kind of getting Kamiakin off balance on the offensive end a little bit. They're used to coming off of screens and being open. Now they've got to make adjustments as our kids are stepping out and being really, really aggressive on the basketball on screens.
Minute 10 left in the first quarter. Dress and Sideritz come back into the game. Hotman in the left corner for Isaac Corey. Corey up top to Carrillo. Carrillo catches, comes to his right, gives back to Shulhonic. Shulhonic and Carrillo out on the right side. Shulhonic moves down to the foul line, hands off. Hotman picks it up, knocked out of his hands, gets it back, 5 on the shot clock, out to Shulhonic. He will drive, left block, glass too hard. Peter Dress has the board for the Braves and will bounce it to Shoemaker on the far sideline. 38 seconds left in quarter number 1. Braves leading by 2. Kick near sideline for the Kamiakin Braves. And over to the right side for Shoemaker. Sideritz up top, between the rings. Will bounce it to Dress. Dress against Carrillo. Lobs it right corner. Shoemaker, three-pointer there. Arking not shot short. Dress got the offensive board. Under the basket, throws it back. Sidoretz missed at the hoop. Got his own rebound. His putback floats in. Second chance opportunity. And the other end, Isaac Corey at the buzzer, short on the shot. So Kamiakin in front of Hermiston, 14-10 after one quarter play here at Hermiston High School. We'll be back on AM 1360 KOHU. Eric Olson, Larry Usher with you in the CMG Financial Broadcast booth high atop Hermiston High School's Purple Gym in the Doghouse. Bulldogs hosting the Kamiakin Braves. And Kamiakin 14-10 after one quarter of play, leading the way for the Braves. Javier Sidoretz with 4, Peter Dress with 4. Actually, they have Dress up with there with 5. And Fabian Hernandez will start with the ball. The point guard for Kamiakin, not to be confused with the striker for Mexico's national team. Right side, Dress a 3 and turns and talks to the student section and extends the lead to 7. Biggest lead of the game for the Braves. 25 seconds into the second quarter. Kiki Carrillo out on the right wing. He will drive to the foul line, hand off to Olson, splits the defenders, bobbles and lays it in. First points of the game for the leading scorer of the MCC. It's now a 5-point Kamiakin lead. Dress lobs it near side to Sidoretz. Sidoretz out to the right wing, and a three-pointer rattles around and out for the Braves. Rebounded by Drake Devon, the 6'2 sophomore, getting his first time tonight. A minute into the second quarter, Hermiston trails 17-12. Corey, got a high pick from Hotman, working out left, gives it that way to Olson. Olson into the corner for Devon. Pick and roll thrown out of bounds by the sophomore guard. Talked to Romaine Smith about this in the pregame conversation, that Kiki Carrillo, Tuesday night, it seemed like he completely adopted and accepted his role is to, when he comes off of the bench, be a defensive stopper. Bradley Hotman commits a foul in front of the Hermiston bench. His second, pauses the clock with 6:32 left in the second quarter.
You know, and I'm really impressed with his commitment level. You know, a lot of people may not remember that 2 years ago, he was a starting point guard. I think he started just about every ball game as a sophomore, and then moved to the JV last year with a coaching change, and now waiting his turn in order to get an opportunity to get some minutes.
Dress has it up top. He's got 8, hands it off, and a three-point shot rims out for Deontay Howard. Ball loose, offensive rebound, put back, floats in. Taysom Wager with the bucket, his first. 19-12, and the ball turned over, but actually out off of Kamiakin last, so Hermiston will keep it. And they'll bring Xavier Gladney back into the game for Deontay Howard. Hotman gets a break, and for Hermiston, Braden Breland gets some early time, the sophomore forward.
I think we're having a shot clock conversation again.
Shot clock says 30. The whole 30's on it with 6:03 left in the second quarter.
I think we had a reset, assuming that that was going to be a turnover.
So they'll bring it down to 20. And with a 19-12 lead, Kamiakin, man-to-man defense. Blake Peterson lost his dribble, lobs it to Breland, far sideline, kept it in play. Picks up his dribble, and Corey comes and takes a handoff, circling left. Corey to the rim, too hard on the layup. Sidegritz has it up court to Dress by himself, right side, and he'll lay it in with 10 now in the game. 21-12 with 5:40 left in the second quarter. Peterson spin move in the paint, righty floater over the top of Gladney. Peterson had a great night on Tuesday.
He has been playing with so much more confidence the last few weeks. It's great to see because he's got the skill, he's got the athleticism. Guy's been playing with a lot of confidence. I had some conversations. I remember when he was a freshman, you could just see that the skill level was there and the commitment level was there.
At 5'9", he has to find ways to be creative when he goes into traffic. He has to find ways to get the shot up quickly, and he has developed those pieces to the equation. 5:19. Drake Devon was called for a foul. 16 foul on Hermiston. Peter Dress step back three, front iron it in over the top of Breland. (24-14), so the 10-point advantage for the Braves. Breland on the pick and roll, back out to a trailing Peterson three-point shot, splashes it. First three-pointer made tonight for Hermiston, and it cuts the lead back down to 7. Sidegritz up top, bounces to Dress. Isaac Corey on him. Into a cutting Hernandez, out to the right wing. Weger three, back iron off, second bounce off the rim. Rebound put back, Sidegritz looked like he got hit on the arm. Hermiston's got Breland with the rebound out to Corey. Into the front court, Corey hesitates, now he is tripped. Sidegritz.
You know, a game like this, if we're going to see a lot of transition, which we hope we do, that Isaac Corey is a guy that can really be a difference maker for us. And it's not necessarily about athleticism or skill, but his ability to play in a game that's very, very physical like this is a little bit of a difference maker for us.
I mean, he's a 220-pound quarterback who could be a linebacker. Top of the key, Devon way off on a three-point shot, poked out of Olsen's hands to Fabian Hernandez. Hernandez up court right side, Merrill with it there. Back to Hernandez. 4:15 left in the second quarter. Hernandez between the rings, lobs it onto the right wing. Bounce down to Gladney. Gladney catches about 15 feet, lobs it back out on top. Hernandez to the left elbow, his jumper over Corey. Back iron off, Gladney rebound, put back on the left side, lays it in. 26-17, just past the halfway point of the second quarter. Peterson hesitates, drives, dumps it underneath. Breland on the right block, can't finish it at the 10. And Hernandez has the rebound, and Brian Manili wants a full timeout. With 3:48 left in the second quarter, up 26-17. We'll take the pause as well. It's Bulldog Basketball at AM 1360 KOHU. (26-17). This is out of Brian Manili's timeout with his team up by 9. 3:48 left in the second quarter. Kamiakin will have the ball. Jason Weger will be the inbounder on the far sideline. Hermiston showing some pressure. Fabian Hernandez will catch. Peterson will be with him. And the other thing, felt like Tuesday night, just the birth of how Hermiston can be a denial defensive team came out of Carrillo and Shilhonic, and what Peterson's been doing as well. Hernandez in the paint on the backdoor pass, picked up by Olsen, and he's fouled. Fabian Hernandez grabbed him.
And right now, Eric, I don't really dislike where our kids are at. They're down 9, but you take away that starting the game with 4 consecutive turnovers, although they didn't go on a huge run on us. And then we've missed 2 or 3 or maybe 4 gimmies inside that really could make this a 1 or 2 point game right now.
And as you said, the second half of the season is going to be a different life for Grant Olsen. He does get it inside here. Being physical on the block, laid it up over everything into the hands of Peter Dress. But they are being physical with him as well. And so you can see just starting to creep in some frustration, some physicality back.
He's definitely going to have to stay mentally tough. And like I said, he's going to have to not fight for baskets. He's going to have to fight to get touches on the ball.
Ball thrown out of bounds into the student section, and it off of the noggin of one of the cheerleaders. She seems to be laughing more than anything else. Halftime of the girls' game, they did a competition practice.
Yes,
it's been quite some time since cheerleading has been
our cheer program is now competitive cheer. It's great to see. The girls are doing a great job. I got a chance to go out in the hallway at halftime of that game and congratulate them. They did a great job.
Ball into the right baseline and saved in by Peterson as he's shoved into the Kamiakin bench. Braves the other direction, up 26-17. Peter Dress in front of the Hermiston student section. Drives under the basket, back out in the corner. Merrill for 3, too hard. Poked into Devin's hands. He flips it up court for Hermiston. Peterson has it. Cross court pass to Shilhonic. A trailing Olsen is poked out of bounds up into the Loma Vista section. I put 2 and 2 together. I couldn't remember what Loma Vista's mascot was because they're the new school. I think they're the Lions.
Did you just assume that giant lion sitting over there in the front row was somebody enjoying the game tonight?
For a while, yeah. The student section on the other side over across from us, a bunch of people in safety vests. Who knows what's going on?
Did you think it was furry night over in that section?
Carry of the ball by Blake Peterson. Look, I said, I'm old. I admit that I get things wrong all the time now. 9-point Kamiakin lead, 2:20 left in the first half. Blake Peterson called for a foul in the backcourt. That's just the unevenness of things here in the first half. That's the first time that something that soft has been called. Second on Blake, 7th on Hermiston.
That's both of Blake's. Both of Blake's are a touch that didn't even cause a loose ball, that takes away a numbers advantage for Kamiakin, and that were both soft fouls.
Missed the front end of the 1-0, rebound, put back, falls off, and under the basket on the arm. Gladney is hit, and he's going to the line to shoot.
Yeah, that physicality underneath the hoop right now is starting to catch up with our kids a little bit, which is great for them. Again, we've got to pick up those big ones tomorrow. Again, for the boys, it's a huge one as well, and our kids need to get better in a game like tonight.
Gladney hits, and so earns one more. And this Kamiakin team has to as well. I mean, they are not nearly what they were a year ago.
No.
But I mean, you're kicking one senior up to Walla Walla Community College. You're kicking another one to Oregon State. Like, you gotta refill some gigantic shoes.
And I think they have the potential to be very, very good. I know that, Brian does a great job with them, and they'll continue to get better as the season goes along. And a new group of kids, and even a transfer coming in as well that moved it to Kamiakin, and, possibly their best kid. That's tough to do early on in the season. It's a work in progress.
Gladney throws it right side, and it bounces up into Sean McClanahan. He's the band director, though, so that's a turnover. And Rose Smith wants a timeout. 30-second variety with 1:41 left in the second quarter. Braves lead is 28-17.
McClanahan was open, though.
And he's got the green light from there, too.
He does.
So
he does. That was actually one of my best shots in college was from the bench. It's usually where I could get one off from.
All right, about 2 minutes left here before halftime. You don't have to get all the way back into this game, but what do the Bulldogs need to do to feel good going into the locker room?
Well, we're getting beat up on the glass right now, and that's not only on these missed free throws, but they've gotten so many second chance opportunities, and we really can close this a little bit, get the game within 6-7 points at halftime if we do a good job on the defensive glass. It's not like Kamiakin's going to take the air out of the ball, that's for sure.
How do you teach the rebounding?
Rebounding, really, it's a mindset, Eric. Yeah, you do teach rebounding and you teach fundamentals on how to box out and secure rebounds, but, either you're an aggressive kid and you got the mindset or you're not. And we do have some of those kids. We just got to do a better job of it tonight, being physical.
Devin drives into the lane, pull up 12-footer off the back iron. Sidorits there will hesitate, now drive to the right side, pick up his dribble to a trailing Shoemaker. Long two, top of the key, knocked it down for his first points of the night. 30-17. The other side of that is don't lose contact here. 13-point game right now. No more than that with a 1:05 left in the first half. Kiki Korea on the left wing gives into the corner for Isaac Corey. Corey driving, drops it back onto the perimeter. Shilhanic whips it around right side. Carrillo, Shilhanic tries a three, very short. Rebound poked out by Devin. Shilhanic chasing it down at half court. New shot clock for Hermiston, 45 on the game clock. Isaac Corey coming left, trying to go one-on-one with Grant Olson inside. Defended right now by Celtic Merrill. Bounce into Olson, he'll turn down to the left, block and lay it in over the top of Sidorits. His second bucket, 30-19, final 25 seconds. Peter Dress, who's got 13 in the first half, hands off to Shoemaker. Shoemaker up top against Carrillo.
I would imagine everybody in the gym knows where this ball's going. A little pick and pop here with Dress.
Shoemaker will hesitate, take it, kick it, extra pass up top. Kinsey drives into the foul line, his jumper's off. Olsen's got the rebound, 3 seconds left, up to Devin. Devin driving right side. Devin won't get the shot off before the halftime buzzer sounds. So the Braves will go into the locker room up on Hermiston, 30-19. Halftime presented by Devon Oil, Circle K. When we come back, the head coach of the Hermiston boys wrestling team, fresh off of a 60-18 dual win over Hanford last night here in the Doghouse. That's coming your way after this on AM 1360 KOHU.
said the game was in Portland, though.
Back at Hermiston High School, it is Hermiston 30. Kamiakin 30, Hermiston 19. And at the halftime break, the stats brought to you by the Hermiston School District. Kamiakin, 3 3-pointers made. Hermiston just 1. Bulldogs 2 for 2 from the foul line. Kamiakin has made 4 of their 5 from the charity stripe here in the first half. Peter Dress, the leading scorer in the game with 13. Xavier Gladney has added 5, as has Javier Siderets. For the Bulldogs, Blake Peterson, 7, leads the way. Grant Olson with 4, Isaac Corey with 4. You said he wasn't going to get to touch the ball. He touched the ball like 4 times on the offensive side. Grant Olson held to 4. I guess the question is, to win, does this team have to have Grant at around 20 to 25 points?
No, I don't think they do. I think we got plenty of kids around him that can score, but what we do have to do, though, is we do have to get the ball in his hands, right? That I think the more touches he gets, the better off we're going to be. Now, if he gets touches and is able to get through the lane or get around the rim and finish, that's great. But nonetheless, every time he gets a touch, he's going to see 3 defenders around him, at least within a step and a reach, and that's going to open up some guys to knock down shots.
Bulldogs will start with the ball in the second half. Landon Shilhonic, Blake Peterson, Isaac Corey, Grant Olson, and Brad Hotman will be the 5. The starting lineup brought to you by Rogers Toyota. Corey hands off to Peterson, who circles up top against Javier Siderets, Fabian Hernandez, Peter Dress, Tayson Wager, and Xavier Gladney. Bulldogs turn it over. Siderets up court, lob at right side. Wager there on the right block to lay it in. His second bucket of the ball game is 32-19. There's a risk. What happens coming out of the locker room at the halftime break? Isaac Corey coming to his left glass and good over the top of Hernandez. Isaac's got 6.
Well, that certainly wasn't the energy defensively that we wanted to see come out of the locker room, giving up an uncontested lay-in off of a missed basket.
Peter Dress offset to the left on the perimeter, gives it to Hernandez, back at the top of the key. Hernandez will start to put it on the floor and get it back over to Dress. Dress muscles his way in against Corey. His turnaround. Isaac maybe got a fingertip on it. Short on the shot. Rebounds loose. Picked up under the basket by Hotman. Bounces out to Peterson. Hernandez gets it back to Gladney as Hermiston turned it over again. Right side. Dress will take a 3. Back iron. It gets the members bounce. Charge him dues. It's 35-21. 6:24 left in the second quarter. Corey in front of the cheerleaders on the far side. Bounces into the paint for Hotman. Hotman muscles his way in. Stuck. Hernandez got a fingertip on it. Wager back up to Hernandez all by himself on the breakaway lay-in. 3 possessions, 3 turnovers, starting just like the game started, and a timeout for
starting
Rose
to get away from us a little bit. You know, one good trip to the basket by Isaac to at least get us on the board to start the second half, but you're right, 3 turnovers, and all 3 of their turnovers result in baskets, 2 of them uncontested lay-ins. Not the way we wanted to start the half, that's for sure. And again, even the first possession of the half, Eric, for those people that are watching online, you see that looks like we came out of the locker room. We tried to run a good set. They wouldn't even allow us to reverse the ball to Grant Olson out at the 3-point line, which not only takes him out of the game, but obviously disrupts whatever we're trying to do on the offensive end as well.
This has gotten better in the last couple of weeks, but when I parachuted back in from the World Cup, one of the things that I looked at that stood out was the discrepancy for the Hermiston boys in the second quarter. They were losing the second quarter by about 19 points, which kind of told me, okay, that's about where you could be making adjustments. And then out of the locker room at halftime, they were trailing as well. Hand check foul softly called on Fabian Hernandez up top for the first foul against Kamiakin. And I asked Romaine Smith about it. He said, you know, we've really stripped things down. We are very shallow into the playbook right now because we're still working on understanding of things. And so it does seem like the Bulldogs have been able to add more and be in a position where they can start to make adjustments against teams as well. Carrillo into the left corner for Shilhonic. Shilhonic will work out of that corner. Bounce it, and a foul on the arm called on Wager. His first, second team.
You know, one thing I think our boys are really still looking for, this group of kids from last year and this year, is they're really looking for an upset win, right? That signature win against a winning program that's going to give our kids some confidence they might need because they have the ability.
37-21, bounce pass from half court down into the lane, and Hernandez finishes it. 39-21. Dress with the assist that time. Corey in a triple team, back out on the perimeter. Olsen a three ball, front iron short. Sidoretz with the rebound, stolen out of his hands by Shilhonic, who lost it. And then in the backcourt, a foul on Shilhonic.
There was a whole lot of contact on that rebound. Looks like Landon tried to be real physical and get the ball away, and he did, and then got called for a bump.
So it's 39-21. Hernandez at half court, he trips, got his dribble back. Sidoretz now off of the ball a hold. And it's on Isaac Corey. .453 left in the third quarter, 39-21. Down inside, Dress lays it in. Caught it right at the rim. And the Bulldogs have now dropped behind by 20. Kamiakin started the quarter on an 11-2 run. Grant Olsen, he's bumped. Fabian Hernandez called for a blocking foul, his third team, as Grant Olsen tried to drive baseline. And so Jake Shoemaker has to come in.
You know, similar to what we talked about in the girls' game to start out, I think with Izzy Simmons, that being aggressive and getting your head down, going to the rim, sometimes getting to the foul line, that would be something that Grant would really benefit from right now. Draw a foul and get a couple free throws. Get yourself a little rhythm going.
Shilhonic has a pass intercepted by Gladney, lobs it back out on top. Wager there. Near side gives to Shoemaker. Shoemaker looking inside to Dress. Will bounce it down on the block against Grant. Shilhonic comes across. Tried to tie it up, and now he's called for a foul. It's the same three guys, but the game is being called in completely differently than it was in the first half.
There's no question.
Three fouls both ways here in 3 minutes.
Make that 4.
4. This is going to go off. No. Yes, it was called offensive.
Called offensive and called a hold. I don't know how.
On Sidoretz. I'm not sure any of the starters going to make it to the end of the third quarter.
You know, it looks like the officials came out and decided that that they were going to be the solution. They just trying to find where the problem is.
It was a physical first half, but it was kind of like.
And there was a very clear foul right there.
Ball lost by Corey, other end, and a missed shot by Wager as he tried to avoid a block. Olsen's got it the other end. Olsen lobs it. Devin on the left corner. Back out to Carrillo. 3:55 left, 41-21. Carrillo coming left, hands it off to Olsen. Olsen into the paint, right hand floater, rolls off the other way. Had not paid his membership dues. Dress has got the rebound. Shoemaker will slow it up. And over onto the right side for Celtic Merrill. Merrill gives to Dress down inside, and a foul on Hotman. Fourth team. Because I truly don't feel like either team is defending differently. This was physical, and if you come out and that's the game you give in the first two quarters, you can't change it on a dime against.
You can't. You have some responsibility to the kids, but you also have some responsibility to the people that are here. That the game has got to be something that's pleasant to watch, and it seems like every single foul that's been called in the second half is something that's soft away from the ball or not even a guy making a play to score. Rebound
put back for Isaac Corey. He's got 8. Gladney coming right. Muscles his way in against Hotman. Bounces off. Rebound tipped out. Good pickup by Wager. Wager lobs it across left side to Shoemaker. Shoemaker kicks it across right. Wager there. Between the rings for Gladney. Gladney looking backdoor. Inside to Dress. Dress going to work against Corsi. Pass poked out of bounds. On the baseline, Kamiakin will keep it. They bring James Kinsey, the junior, back into the game for Gladney. 2:38 left in the third, 41-23. Dress trips. Ball rolls out of bounds. Set off Hermiston last.
Looks like Dress probably maybe got rolled up on somebody's foot as he tried to jump stop on that baseline drive.
Inbound on the baseline. Merrill drops it inside. Gladney, and a hold inside called as Gladney kicked it back out. Blake Peterson at the table to check in. He'll come in for Hotman, so Hermiston essentially going 5 guard. I know they list Grant as a forward, but essentially going 5 guard, down 41-23 with 2.5 minutes left in the second. That was third on Isaac, by the way. He stays out there. Shoemaker on the right side. Up to Kinsey. Kinsey out along to the left. And a skip pass across. Shoemaker, the lefty three is short. Rebound. Poked by Carrillo. Picked up by Olsen. Flings it up court. Devin to Peterson. Left side lay-in as Hermiston runs the break successfully. And they've got it to within 16 with 2:02 left in the third quarter. Down inside, Corey pokes a pass away. Merrill chases it down in the corner. And then a timeout given to Brian McNeely with 1:55 left in the third. 41-25. And it's a 30-second variety pause for the Kamiakin Braves. Looking ahead to tomorrow, Kennewick Hermiston here at the Doghouse. That was one of the rare first half of the MCC road wins for anybody. Hermiston winning at Kennewick 59-55. I asked you this earlier, how is this matchup different? How is that matchup different tomorrow?
Well, again, that's going to be a real physical game. And that's what happened at Kennewick is our kids played very, very physical, especially in the second half. And surprisingly enough, Kennewick, who's normally the most physical team in the conference, couldn't match that physicality and energy that our kids played with, and that was the difference in it. And that's what our kids are going to have to do the whole second half of the season if we're going to want to pick up some of these wins and move up some spots into for the 3A postseason tournament.
1:45 left in quarter number 3. Top of the key, Shoemaker will pass up, jump stop in the paint around Corey, lays it in. And he's got his second bucket here of the ball game to extend the Kamiakin lead back out to 18. 90 seconds left. Quarter number 3, Isaac Corey up top against Kinsey. Gives to Peterson on the left wing. Peterson will drive, take to his right-hand floater. Over everything, Kinsey's got the board. For Kamiakin, up to Shoemaker. Right side for Merrill. Celtic Merrill against Drevin. Will get it around the perimeter. Sidgrit's on the left side. Kicks right. Merrill tees up a jumper. Splashed it. That's his first points of the night. And for Kamiakin, it's their fourth three-pointer made to have him out in front, 46-25. Corey into Devin. Devin, floater short, tipped out to Carrillo. Right side to Peterson. Peterson, extra corner, pass to Devin. Three-pointer off iron into the hands of Merrill for Kamiakin. Sidgritz gets it, splits 2 defenders, comes up into the front court, stops top of the key. Bounces behind him, Shoemaker, 35 seconds left in the third quarter. Right side, Merrill a 3, hit another one, same spot. 49-25, Devin to answer, transition 3 the other end, back iron, and it rolls in for Drake Devin. His first points, 49-28, 15 seconds left in quarter 3. Shoemaker, round a high pick, top of the key, he'll take a three, back iron off. Carrillo bumped and a foul called on Kinsey. 15 foul on the Braves.
And they get back-to-back wide open threes out of that timeout. Just actually jogging about half speed off of a simple down screen, and we don't stay connected, get caught under the screen or whatever it was, making a decision if we're going to go under or over, and giving up two wide open looks, starting to get some separation here.
Final seconds. Will Hermiston get a shot off before the end of the third? Corey into the left wing, gets the shot off, and he's fouled. Kinsey will give up 3 foul line shots. And Brian Manili frustrated because, contested or not, James Kinsey just doesn't have to contest like that.
No.
And give Corey the chance at the line.
No, in that situation, even if this is the end of the ball game, especially if it's the end of the ball game, you just don't foul a jump shooter. If a kid's sprinting down the sideline and shooting an off-balance jump shot, fading out of bounds and knocks it down, then you tip your cap and congratulate him on making a real tough shot. But what you don't do is give him 3 easy ones.
Yeah, because the other side of the coin is, guys, you were on these drills all the time. The ball moves up the floor faster if you pass it than just Isaac
Correct.
trying to run it three-quarters of the
Correct.
court.
Well,
now, he makes all 3, which is good.
Right, and what happens in that situation is you find yourself trailing the basketball is why you get yourself in that kind of trouble. Isaac did a really good job, obviously, of stopping and creating some contact on a guy that was trailing the ball.
49-31, Kamiakin in front. We go to the fourth quarter when we come back on AM 1360 KOHU. (49-31), we start the fourth. Offensive rebound, put back, offensive rebound, put back, offensive rebound. This time Hermiston secures it on the miss. Isaac Corey the other end, and he ran right over the top of Celtic Merrill for an offensive foul. 28 seconds into the fourth quarter. Isaac's fourth. He's Hermiston's leading scorer with 11.
Yeah, and if Hermiston's going to have any hope to close the gap, it's going to have to be with Isaac Corey on the offensive and defensive end of the floor. Remember that energy in the first quarter that Isaac had to get us back in the ball game? We need some of that right now.
Corey spent most of the night, it just ended up being him who needed to check dress. Attacked by Sidorets, missed the shot, another offensive rebound. Back on the perimeter, Merrill tees the top of the key 3 and knocks it off the back iron and in. He's got a trio of those in about the last 5 minutes, and Kamiakin's out in front 52-31, a minute in to the fourth quarter. Grant Olson in the right corner. Devin forced one up off the front iron. Merrill's got it for the Braves. Near side gives to Sidorets. Sidorets pass to Hernandez. Hernandez guarded by Blake Peterson. Right side, Devin steps in front of a pass intended for Sidorets. He's got a 2-on-2, knocked out of his hands, throws it underneath. Peterson to Corey, left side. Corey missed the shot, maybe blocked from behind by Wigger. Sidorets out to the right wing. Hernandez tees a 3-ball, splashed it. They're making everything in transition right now, and they're out in front 55-31. Timeout given to Romaine Smith with 6:07 left. Full timeout 55-31 in favor of the Braves. When we come back here on AM 1360 KOHU. Eric Olson, Larry Usher with you tonight at Hermiston High School, and 55-31 with 6:07 left in the fourth quarter.
Well, you were right. Just before the break, you mentioned how well Kamiakin's shooting the ball, but Grant Olson gets a trip to the rim and a finish there. How well Kamiakin's shooting the ball in the second half, but you kind of also have to mention the fact that they're getting a lot of wide open looks in the second half that they did not get in the first half. I think they're a good shooting team. You give a good shooting team a lot of time to set their feet, they're going to knock down shots, and we didn't give them that time in the first half.
Fabian Hernandez missed the three-point shot. Rebound, put back, flipped in by Gladney. Didn't touch barely anything. Gladney's got 10. Ball knocked out of bounds on the far sideline off of Hermiston last. So 57-33. 5:26 left in the fourth quarter. And, you know, if the adjustment is going to be what Brian Manili has done defensively tonight against Grant Olson and everybody else is going to copycat that, then I guess part of it is now the team has to learn how to play 4-on-4 offense when Grant is phased out.
Well, yes and no. I mean, the thing is that all they're going to do is they're going to deny Grant the ball, and they're going to challenge him to have to work physically to get open and get the basketball, whether that's on the perimeter or in the paint. But when he does catch on the perimeter, which they haven't even given him perimeter catches, they're going to go ahead and pack the paint. They're going to get into a pack line, and they're going to try to stop him from getting in any gaps offensively. But, again, if you're going to challenge somebody, you got to work physically, that's for sure.
Peter Dress returns along with Jake Shoemaker for Merrill. Hernandez also came out. 4:55 left, 57-33. On the right side, Drake Devon up top to Carrillo. Kiki gives it over to Peterson. Peterson holding in front of the Hermiston bench. To Devon up top. Corey creates some space, has it left elbow. He'll muscle his way in, and a foul. Held on the way in by Wager.
Be one great possession to watch on film right there. And they were grabbing and holding Isaac a little bit, and he did a whole lot of pushing himself. But nonetheless, he fought a little bit. He fought, and he was physical to try to get a possession where he wanted the ball.
Corey's at the line in a 1-and-1 situation, makes the first, earns himself another. Isaac's got 12. Leading scorer for Hermiston. Peter Dress is on with 18 right now. Second one does not fall for Corey. And 57-34 is the scoreline. Shoemaker on the right wing, bounces top of the key. Wager open, drives, kicks in the left corner. Dress a three-pointer, way too hard on it. Gladney gets the offensive rebound on the air ball. Rebound put back, nothing whistled on it, almost though. Rebound put back, Gladney on that second chance. Flings it in. Lob into the left corner, Devin open there, his three, front iron off. Peter Dress has got the rebound. Dress lobs it up court, steal by Olson, gives to Corey. Corey, spin move, takes it to the 10 and lays it in. He's got 14. 59-36. Kind of reiterating a point I made way back at the start of things as the ball gets into the right corner. Gladney back out on top for Shoemaker. Shoemaker coming to his left, fills the paint for Dress. The turnaround righty goes in. The point, this though, so that's 61 for Kamiakin with 3:30 left. Last year, 99 at their place and 86 here for the Braves in the 2 games against Hermiston. The defense is still so much better.
It is, and not only that, consider that the 61 tonight, a lot of them off of turnovers and in transition. You know, remember that start of the second half where they ended up with like 5 uncontested lay-ins out of 10 possessions start the second half. That's a big piece of it. You cut those down, you know, and we're in a 36-50 ball game.
Grant Olson at the line misses the front half of the 1-and-1 opportunity. Just 6 points tonight for Grant. Throw it inside. Sittergritz, one bounce, will turn around, missed it. Poked back up against the rim by Corey. Hermiston's got it on the other end. Up to Peterson, lays it in. Peterson's got 11, 61-38, and then Peterson commits a foul in the backcourt.
I think we're going to be shooting a lot of free throws here down the stretch, Eric.
3:04 left, both teams in the bonus. That foul on Peterson was his 3rd. I think Blake Peterson has the most distance between the rim and his fouls tonight, if you add them all together. All 3 have been in the backcourt.
They have. All of them, but about 90 feet plus.
So the lefty Shoemaker's at the line for his first foul shot of the night, misses the front end of the 1-and-1.
And I like that Blake's being aggressive in the backcourt. That's what we need to do, and we're going to fight. But at the same time, and some of those I think were maybe a little bit of inconsistency, but we got to make sure that we use them wisely down there.
Grant works his way around a defender into the paint and lays in with the right hand. He's got 8 now, 61-40, and a foul. Peterson again.
Nope, that'd be Drake Devon.
Oh, Devon
Similar,
got his.
soft one, reaching in on a pass. The pass was completed. Kamiakin could have reversed the basketball.
2:42 left in the 4th.
I just don't understand those ones, Eric. As a coach, when I coached decades ago, of course, maybe it's changed. It's just so frustrating. Even if I'm the team that's getting fouled, let's just keep playing basketball. That you hit a guy on the arm, but the pass didn't get deflected. The team maintains possession, and the team is actually in transition, and we're going to stop play and walk to the other end and shoot free throws. It's like the old saying when we were kids: "No harm, no foul." That's kind of the situation here, and it should happen that way.
63-40, as 2 foul shots go in for Howard. And 2:35, Hermiston turned it over. Kamiakin is at Chiawana tomorrow night. That is a game with plenty of intrigue to it. Chiawana was at Southridge tonight. Presumably, both those teams are going to be picking up wins. That'll make Kamiakin 7-2. They're 235 away from that. Chiawana would improve to 6-3. And for Kamiakin, they beat Chiawana the first time at their place, 60-54. That's tomorrow night. While Hermiston's got Kennewick coming here, a team they beat 59-55 back on December 10th. In the paint, rim around and out for Gavin Buchanan. 63-40, up to Devon. Devon in the paint, short on the shot. And the foul on Shoemaker. His first 9 team fouls on the Braves. And it was before the shot, so Devon is at the line in a 1-and-1 scenario.
Looks like at the end of the 3rd, Chiawana's pulled away from Southridge a little bit, up 11 now, so that is going to be a big game tomorrow night. Be a fun game to watch too, wouldn't it?
I mean, that one there, this one here, that's kind of where your attention is tomorrow, because Walla Walla at Hanford and Pasco Richland, the others. In the paint, Shoemaker with the left hand floats one in. Shoemaker's got 6, minute 45 left. It's a 65-40 lead for the Braves. Peterson coming left in the lane, lost it, and he touched it last.
That Walla Walla Hanford game is one of the 2 most interesting games in our league so far this year, the first half through. How does Walla Walla, the first half through, get beat by Hanford and beat by Southbridge? But then beat Chiawana and beat Kamiakin.
I assume that Adam Berg would like to know the answer to that
I bet
question
he would.
too. The 4th-year head coach, by the way, will be playing host on Tuesday night. Hermiston, longest regular season trip of the year up to the home of the Blue Devils.
That sure feels good, doesn't it?
Where would I normally have been on a Friday night 6 years ago, 7 years ago? Probably Hood River.
Or now, if we were still in the OSAA, we'd be at Barlow tonight, home tomorrow, and then at Central Catholic on Tuesday night, or at Sandy, or...
Oh, don't tease me. 1:05 left in the 4th quarter. Back out on top to Kinsey. They swing it around the perimeter. Buchanan gives to Shoemaker. Right side to Kinsey. Kinsey circles into the paint, fading away over the top, but Devin gets the roll, his first points of the night.
Years ago when I was still coaching, that was one of the conversations. Every time the OSAA reclassified, there was always conversations about us possibly having to go to the Portland area. And whenever it came up in coaches' meetings, my only response was, better restaurants in Portland. If we got to go, we got to go.
Robbie Akers turned it over on a traveling violation. Final 38 seconds. 67-40 is the scoreline. Braves are going to move to 9-4 and 7-2. Still, we'll have a look at getting themselves back to the Tacoma Dome, but Brian Maneely's team's got still some work and some gelling to do. Down to the right corner, a drive by Merrill. Merrill's shot partially altered, and it's picked up by Akers. Final seconds rolling off the clock. Akers coming right. Why not? He'll take it himself, lay it over everything, and is fouled. And with 3.2, 2 foul shots coming for the sophomore Robbie Akers. Merrill the foul.
Robbie has an opportunity to get in the book in a varsity contest. I think he's got a few of his buddies in the student section on their feet.
A couple of his buddies actually filming right here. Can he get in? Oh,
can't get any closer than that, though, can you?
Down and out.
I can assure you, and this is unfortunate after he's probably played an entire JV game tonight, these are the 2 biggest free throws he's shot in a long, long time. This is one of the things I love about high school basketball, Eric.
Oh, not going to be tonight. Well, rebound by Merrill on the second miss.
The good thing about that is he's going to be just as excited the next time he goes to the line.
The next time he gets there.